What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to your favorite podcast, the Hurls and Smallz Show, bringing you another episode. As you see, we missed last episode. We'll get into the reasons of that, why. For the itinerary of this episode, if you've seen the last couple, we're going to continue our drafts of previous rounds draft. We're going to have Hurlins try to guess the last 4,000-yard passer of a division. We're going to talk a little bit of football here and there. And then we're going to get into our Worldwide Wrestling Waffle. And we got a lot to talk about over there if you're a wrestling fan. So,
man, bro, it's the best time of year to be a wrestling fan. And Suze was asking because right now it looks like I'm only going to be able to do a stream of night one. Because I think we're going to have people over for night two. And I previously told you that I thought it was entirely scrapped. But I think night one, we may be able to still do it. And Suze was like, bro, get me part of it. Let me be part of it. And Suze, I told him, I'm down. I'm willing to have you there, but Suze just doesn't watch. He doesn't watch wrestling. Like, we asked him what happened today on Monday Night Raw, and he couldn't tell us. He was like, "Oh, John Cena got Crossroads" because he saw a clip on Twitter or something. So, Suze, if you're listening to this, lock in these next couple of weeks, and if I see you're locked in, then maybe you can be a part of it. But Dark, you're welcomed because I know you're watching every week. Kai, if you want to come out of the fucking rock you're hiding under and show your face, you can join as well.
Low key, Dark. You're not invited. I'm just kidding. But as I said, Suge streamed yesterday, right? And I was just joking around or something. I was like, one day I hope to have half the aura that Suge has. And Joe was like, nah, Smallz, I know you got Riz. And Dark pops up and goes, his ass won't even talk to the grocery store lady. Just without a second of hesitation.
You know what? No. Way to hold him accountable, Dark. Good shit on you. Way to hold him accountable. That's good shit on you, Dark. Way to hold him accountable. Good shit. Good shit. He's right. He's right. He is right.
He's wrong. But for anybody wondering, we missed a second Thursday episode in a row, and we had thought of a concept to do. We were gonna bring it on. We're not falling off. But me and Hurlins had a discussion, and it's like we could have had an episode, but then we would have just been waffling for like close to an hour, and it's kind of just like we feel like we're wasting anybody that watches time, and we don't want to do that. We want it to actually have like some. We're gonna waffle regardless, but we want it to have some context to it at least.
And it's funny because as a kid, when you watch a YouTuber and it's like when they hit you with the I think I'm gonna be uploading it less consistently, but I'm gonna put more effort into these videos. It's like I think me uploading less is gonna make the videos better quality. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up and drop a video every day. Why are you going to 3 a week to make the videos better? But like Smallz says, we don't want to put something out there where we're just talking about a whole lot of nothing for an hour and a half and then just say, oh yeah, we recorded an episode. We'd rather just cut down the episodes per week to 1. And, when there's actually stuff to talk about closer to the start of the season, maybe we can ramp it back up to 2. But every now and then there's still maybe a couple of 2 episode per week weeks, like during the draft that we'll have 2. I know I struggled there. During the draft we'll have 2 episodes. So depending on the week, but for the most part we are going to be down to 1 episode a week. So yeah.
But you won't be deprived of us. Me and Hurlins talked, and we're gonna start filming more short form content stuff. So that'll be getting pumped out more frequently, and hopefully I stay up on top of those. Sometimes I slack, but
like we were talking about at the top of the show, we're gonna be streaming the WrestleMania watch along. So if anybody wants to watch that, you're interested in wrestling, come through there. We're gonna be streaming the NFL draft. So what is that, like April 24th or whatever, whenever the draft is, we'll be streaming that. So we'll be in other places. You guys just got to come and find us. But yeah.
Is Mania the 20th and 21st?
The 19th and the 20th.
19th and 20th, and then the draft is the 24th. That's gonna be an exciting week.
Exciting week, yeah, it is. It is. We're gonna have a lot to talk about that week.
But before we get into football, just a little bit of small talk, because we don't do that on Monday episodes, and we're scrapping Thursdays. So
yeah. Baseball's
back, baby. Neither one of us are like diehard baseball fans. It's our third sport, but it's been fun so far, man.
Come on, man! Defend our fucking house, man. The Marlins are winning the World Series. We did lose today, like 10-4 or some shit to the Mets, and I will be at the game tomorrow. Though today, when you guys are seeing this, I will be at that game. So this could be the first win I ever see for the Marlins. I've been to like 5 games, and we're 0-5. So I'm hoping tomorrow is the first win that I see the Marlins get. Please, man, please, I'm praying. I even got my bobblehead right here. I'm not gonna wear my Jazz chisel. I'm sure I'm gonna wear that when we play the Yankees. But yeah, I'm gonna be in there decked out in Marlins gear, ready to watch a win, man. Let's go Marlins, bro.
So you gonna get a jersey
I'm like
tomorrow?
you said, fuck no. Like you said, because we just gonna trade the guy anyway. We trade everybody. Like you said, we're not. I thought you were more of like a pretty, more than casual baseball fan. I don't even know if I'm a casual baseball fan. I just enjoy it. I think it's just fun. I'm getting into it, but it's just been a lot of fun keeping up. The season just started, but it's been so much fun just keeping up with the Marlins, watching the highlights and shit like that. And all three of our wins this season have been walk-offs, so it's been a lot of fun. And before today, we were 3-1. We won that series against the Pirates. Marlins are looking fun, man. As long as we're not bottom of the barrel, starting like 0-9 like we did last season, I'm gonna be happy, man.
It's just so hard to watch. Like, I enjoy watching the games, but the Reds and the Yankees, it's like 2:30, and it's like, how am I supposed to watch this? I have a job.
Baseball games start at weird ass times. They do. They really start at weird times. And also for me, when we talked about this with the Heat, when I was younger, I could watch all the Miami teams, all the sports teams, all in Florida. I could now it's fucking Bally Sports, so I can't watch the fucking Marlins
not Bally
on TV
anymore,
or whatever the fuck it is.
I think you can watch them now.
Really?
I think so. I think they got rid. I don't think that they follow like the blackout like the other major sports.
Okay, I
could be wrong.
But yeah,
I could be wrong, but
like you would have to go and buy a separate like package part. Like say you have regular cable, you have to go buy a separate package to watch the Heat. Like even though I hated the Heat, I was watching every Heat game. And back then, I'm like, bro, why the fuck did they give me these baseball channels? I don't care about baseball. But now that I'm actually enjoying baseball and watching baseball and keeping up with it, I want to have those channels. So I will check after we finish recording to see if I have those Marlins channels. But yeah. They're not there.
Speaking of the Heat,
5-game
win streak, baby! 5-game win streak. No, they still suck, but they've actually been fun to watch now. Bam been hooping, Tyler been hooping, and that's all I can ask for. I don't give a fuck about the rest of the team. So as long as my two buddies are hooping, I love Duncan, but Spo be hoeing him. So,
all right.
March Madness, how tapped in you been?
Not at all. I made a bracket, and that's about it.
I'm sorry, but that is criminal. Even if you don't I don't know how you can't watch March Madness. It's the best time of the year.
I don't know if I definitely haven't watched a single game, but I think I've tuned into a couple.
A single game?
I haven't watched a single game. Like from start to finish, I haven't watched one. Not one, Brady. Not one, dog.
If I say the name Walter Clayton to you, could you tell me who that is?
Absolutely not.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
I know what's his face hit that game winner, that little like hop, Euro game winner. He like banked it with Derek Queen. He hit that game winner. I know Cooper Flag and the Blue Devils have been just whooping ass. Then they put up like 111 and have like a crazy amount of threes or some shit like that.
That was Alabama.
Against Alabama. No, wait, against Alabama or it was Alabama?
That was Alabama.
I swear Duke did something like that. Shit. Well, that shows you how tapped in I am. But yeah, I'm not super tapped in. Like, so we were in the Discord today, and Suji just told me like all the number 1 seeds are in the Final Four, and I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy, and I wouldn't have known it if he didn't tell me. So yeah.
The women's side is pretty much the same thing, except USC lost because Juju got hurt.
Who'd they lose to?
Paige Beckers and UConn.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Paige.
But Texas won, UCLA won, and who was the other one seed? It is. Oh, I'm bad. I don't know. I can't think of it. It don't matter.
All right. You're saying speaking of March Madness.
Shout out Haley Van Lith. Probably played her last.
It's a new shout out now. Okay.
No, not a new shout out. They lost today. So it was probably her last game. So she a dog. Really shout out Jalen Suggs. But we can
shout out Jalen Suggs.
We can get into some football.
You give this guy the intro, he don't even ask me how I'm doing like I usually do. I don't get to ask him how he's doing.
I forgot. I'm bad. I didn't even do. If you're watching this, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. We always down there responding. I mean, at least I am. I don't know about the other guy next to me. He kind of.
That's crazy. I definitely
bogus,
am.
But But I was gonna ask you earlier how you were doing it, and you completely went on a tangent about something else, and I completely forgot to continue on to that. But yeah, but how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. I don't know if you can hear it. I am a little under the weather. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I am a little bit under the weather. It was worse the past from Thursday to Saturday or some shit. It was worse, but I'm doing pretty great. I did have myself a pretty fun weekend. So Sunday night, I was out on the town. I was literally thinking about that before I started recording. I miss football, man. I miss just the small things we did but fuck that. So yeah, my friend John, he had hit me up a month ago or so, and was like, "Yo, there's this music festival, music concert that's going down in Miami. I know, And he listens to EDM type of music, so it's not really my vibe. It's just don't shit like that.
Shits are hard though. I want to go to one of them so bad,
bro. So he asked me, and I was like, you know what? I know it's not my type of music, but just to hang out with you, give you some company, I'll go. And he tells me a couple of my other friends, our friends, are going too. So I'm like, yeah, a guy's night out. I'm not tripping over that. He told me he'll pay half of my ticket because he knows I don't like the music. So he's like, I'll even pay half for you. I was like, bet, no problem. So I only pay $25 for the ticket. So it's in Miami. We go. He picks everybody up. He drives us there, and on the road, it's I go yo, if we're gonna be listening to this music, the three of us didn't rock with it. It was only John. The three of us didn't rock with it. I was like, we may as well get drunk, drink if we're gonna be, listening to this music, so we're able to feel the beat a little bit more. We enjoy the vibe a bit more. So one of the last guy that John picked up, we call him OG. He pulls out 3 shooters from his he carried a little fanny pack, a little man purse or whatever. He pulls out 3 shooters. I don't know if you know what those are, the little small alcohol bottles. And he's like, I got us. So I'm like, come on. So he has a rum chata, some vodka, and he passes those out. Not to John. John didn't take because obviously he was driving. He didn't drink it while driving. But yeah, so we take those, and once I took that, I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a good fucking night. And I could tell he was already gone because he was like, bro, we're alive right now. We're living. Look at these buildings. People built those, bro. We're driving to Miami. 4 guys. We're alive right now. So I already knew he was gone. I already knew it. But then he goes, yo, let's stop. Let's stop at a liquor store. And so we stopped at a Total Wine, and we were going up and down the aisles looking for some just drinks that we can buy and drink before we get there. So we buy this big ass bottle of rum chata. I don't know if you ever had rum chata. It was my first time having it. That shit was delicious. It was phenomenal. And then we bought each of us bought 4 of these bottles that were this big of some strawberry lemonade daiquiri kind of thing. It was 11%. Wasn't crazy. The rum chata was 22%. But yeah, we ended up finishing that rum chata amongst the 3 of us before we 15-20 minutes into the car ride. We were just all taking hits from it, just passing it around. So we were all just taking hits from it, just passing it around. And then those 4 bottles that I said we bought, we also chugged those as well before we made it to the venue in Miami. So we were getting out they weren't their super strongest percentage, but by the time we got to Miami, we were already fucking feeling good. So we get out, we go into the venue, and we already hear that we're late, by the way, an hour late. John told all 3 of us he'd pick us up at 7:30. I don't know how he thought that made sense. You're picking up 3 different people at 3 different spots in the city at 7:30, which is ridiculous. But we get there and the music's bumping already, and I'm tipsy already, so I'm feeling it. I'm in line starting to fucking dance and feel myself. And then we get on the dance floor, and I'm like, yo, this ain't bad. Again, it's not my music, but I'm enjoying the time. John and Brian leave to go get a drink, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not drinking. Then Brian comes back, and he's like, Hermes, you're not drinking, bro? Go buy yourself a fucking drink. So I'm like, oh, fine. I go and buy a drink, and that just led to the downfall of the night. I was gone from there. This is the most drunk I've ever been in my life. In my life, dog. I was gone. So I ended up having 3 or 4 drinks on additional drinks on the night at the concert. And bro, there was a point where we were on the dance floor and people were recording. Obviously, it's a concert, they're just recording it. And a dude in front of me is recording. I don't know this guy, complete stranger. I grab his shoulder. I'm like, turn that fucking camera. Turn the camera and get us in the video. So he flips the camera and I just start going crazy in the video, bro. I wish I would have, and I did it to 2 or 3 different people. So I wish I would have asked for their social media so I could have seen myself drunk as hell in their video screaming for them to flip the camera, and I'm just in there. I'm just screaming my ass off, not knowing any of the music, but just having the greatest time. Dog, so I ended up having to use the bathroom, and Brian, he was kind of he was the guy that enticed me to keep on drinking, but he also was the guy that took care of me when I was too drunk. So shout outs to you, Brian, but fuck you, Brian, because I wouldn't have been that drunk if it weren't for you anyway. But I was like, dog, I gotta go use the bathroom. So we walk over to the bathroom, and along the way, we're obviously passing a bunch of girls, and they were in there. And dog, legitimately every girl we walk past. At this point, I'm gone. Like I don't know where I'm at anymore. I'm absolutely gone. Hammered. So every girl that walks by, I'm literally going, yo, you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Yo, you're so beautiful. And then I do it to one girl, and then she looks back and says thank you. And then I see her man walk up, and I whisper to Brian. I was like, Brian, no way, I just did that shit with her man right there. And I started feeling so bad. Like I'm drunk, so I'm feeling bad and shit. I'm like, dog, bro, I gotta go home. Like I can't do this. I just did that to a girl with her man right there. I was feeling so bad. And then I get to the fucking bathroom. This is where it just goes down. I go into the stall. I'm already knowing I gotta throw up. So I it's not like it just came out of nowhere. I'm already knowing I'm going into the stall to throw up. I couldn't use the urinal. So I go into the stall, I get down, and I'm like, oh, here we go. So I'm just waiting for it. And I start throwing up everywhere. I threw up maybe 7 or 8 times in that night. Like I threw up so much. So I start throwing up, and I don't know how much time passed when I was in there, but it had to have been a decent amount of time, and people heard me throwing up outside or something. To where one of the workers puts a broom over the stall to unlock it, like to push the little thing to unlock it, and he opens it up, and he's like, yo, bro, are you good? Are you good? Are you good? And I'm like, dog, I swear I'm fine. And again, I don't know if I was in there for 30 minutes, so he was just super concerned, or if he just heard me throwing up, so that's why he went in there. But he opens up the stall, and he's screaming at me, are you good? Are you good? Are you good? And I don't know how the fuck he was like, yeah, oh, yeah, he's good, because I just said I'm good, and he was like, oh, okay, all right. And just closes it, and just leaves me in there. So I go back to throwing up. And then eventually Brian and them come in and they grab me, and we're walking back to the actual dance floor. And once we get to the dance floor, it's like because they have like the flashing lights and shit. I swear it was making me even more drunk. So I have to sit down. Like we were towards the front, and because it wasn't seats or anything. We were towards the front, and we were standing there. I had to sit down like against like the railing, so obviously you can't jump on the stage. I was sitting down against the railing next to this trash can. And I was just throwing up into, like, it was a huge trash can, so I had to tilt it over while I was sitting down, and I was just throwing up into it nonstop. Man. And I don't remember much of like how long I was sitting there for, but the paramedics ended up coming to me because by the way I was sitting, like I look like, because I'm that type of concert, I'm sure people were on fucking hardcore drugs in there. So they probably thought I was doing some crazy ass drugs and this guy needs medical attention now. So the paramedics come up to me and they're like, yo, are you good? Are you good? They're asking my friends, like, is he good? Is he okay? And I'm like, yes, I promise I'm fine. And John had told me like 100 times, like, bro, Hurlins, you have to stand up or they're gonna kick you out. You have to stand up. You have to stand up. And I remember standing up for a couple of minutes, but then I was like, dog, John, I can't. So I sat right back down in that same spot, tilted the garbage can back over, and started throwing up again, bro. And it's not like this is off to the corner in the fucking back of the concert where no one's seeing us. I'm in the front, dead center, so everybody's seeing this. I'm in the front, dog. It was terrible. So we end up leaving at like 2:30, I want to say. Maybe it was later, because John told me I got back home at 5. So whenever we left, and we're walking home, and everybody's like, you know, we're hungry. Let's get some food in us. You know, maybe it'll sober us up a bit. No. Yeah. So we walked to this taco spot, and Brian, he's a great guy, bro. I was like, Brian, how much I owe you or anything? Because he ended up buying me and John's food. He was like, Brian, I was drunk in this state, obviously. So I'm like, Brian, dog, how much I owe you? I'm not gonna let you pay for me. How much I owe you? He was like, nah, I got it. Don't trip over it. He got us like a Diet Coke and like and tacos or some shit. And I take one bite of the taco, and it's not that the taco is fucking nasty, but I just threw it all up. I ended up throwing up on my fucking shoe, bro. I was pissed. I was pissed, bro. I threw up maybe like 7 or 8 times that night. But like I said, I had such a great night. It's not my type of music or anything, but just the vibe and being with the guys and, you know, being drunk. I would have liked to be a bit less drunk so I could have, you know, actually, you know, just not needed fucking medical attention or whatever, but you know, I had a great time. You know, I'm glad John invited us. And I remember John was telling me, like, like one of the DJs played, because it was like 10 people lined up for that night. The second guy came on stage, and that's when I started really, you know, getting drunk. So when the second guy got off the stage, and he's like, thank you, Miami. Thank you for being great guest to us or whatever. I'm like, fuck no, that guy just killed it. You're not going anywhere. Get back on stage. You just killed that shit. Play all night. I'm screaming at him to stay on stage. And I was absolutely fucking hammered, bro. I told him that's the most drunk I've ever been in my life. But I had a great time. You know, nothing bad happened. You know, I wasn't driving or anything, so it's whatever. But yeah, I had a great night. I was texting my brother. I was like, "Yo, your brother's gone, bro. Your brother's lit. I'm having a great time." And he called me at like 3 in the morning and shit like that. So yeah, I had a great time in Miami. You know, living it up. And I told John if they're there again. If they're there again, I'm there. I'm sliding to it again because I had such a great time.
That music is absolute hot dog shit, but like it's.
I don't rock with the music. Yeah,
the concerts just look like such a vibe and like
yeah,
especially in Miami. I can't imagine how fucking fine the scenery was.
Bro, and there was wearing what is it called? The fucking like the lace shit that they wear on like their leg. What is it called? Like fishnet, dog, bro. It was so much of that, bro, and Man, it was a great time. It was a great time. How are you doing?
Speaking of alcohol, Greg's wedding, my brother Greg is on Saturday, and the most drunk I've been in my life was at his bachelor party because I don't drink like ever. I probably drink once a year, maybe twice.
And yeah, people are gonna hear that and think Carlos is a hardcore drinker. I don't drink often, but I will say when I do drink, I'm like fucking drunk. Like I'm drunk. I'm never just drinking just, you know, I'm just to feel a little tipsy. Every time I drink, I'm fucking like drunk as hell.
When I drink very fast, so by like the end of the night I'm calmed down and I've sobered up. But I already know they're gonna try to get me drunk just because I don't drink. I especially don't drink with my family. Like if I'm drinking, it's with my homies and like we're out doing something. I'm not just drinking for the fun of it.
Yeah.
So I gotta find a way to like, obviously I can't just not drink, but like make them seem like I'm drinking more than what I am, because I don't want to get drunk, dog. I fucking hate the feeling of it. And
I hate it.
And it's worse for me because drinking, it gets me horny, and then I don't know how to make it not do that.
You put your head down, and I was like, "What is he about to say?" And he's like, "It makes me horny." Like
it does.
Okay, I love the honesty.
And then once it wears off a little bit, I just get depressed for no fucking reason, and it's like, dog, what is going on up here?
And I'm not gonna lie, when I was drunk last night, I was like, bro, I wanted to text this one girl that I had talked to. I wanted to say, just text her, I miss you so bad. And I woke up today like, thank fucking God I did not text her. Like, thank God, because I would have just put myself in a fucking mess just because I was drunk. So thank goodness I didn't, man. But I had such a great night. Like, I have videos and pictures in my phone that I don't even remember fucking taking, bro. It was such a fun time, bro. I would 100% do it again. And again, I don't fuck with that music whatsoever. But it's like, once you start drinking, the beat, you just start feeling the beat. Like there's no literally people were in there fucking banging their heads and shit. Like my goodness, but like just the vibe and all the people in there just enjoying the music and jumping around. Like I'm dancing to these songs that I've never heard in my life. I'm two-stepping to this song that it doesn't even go with the dance. I'm dancing with random people that I've never met before. But it was a great time. It was a great time. So I would definitely go again, man. Shout outs to John for inviting us. Miami. I'll see you guys soon.
I went on Saturday to pick up my suit for his wedding, and I was trying it on. And the one sleeve, it was short anyways, but then the other like the sleeves weren't like the same length. So my left sleeve was like way up here, and the lady looked at it and she was like, "How did they forget to do one of the sleeves? That doesn't make any sense." So they're gonna have to fix those sleeves, and my brother's gonna pick it up for me tomorrow, and I'm not even gonna be able to try it back on. So I'm just gonna have to hope that it fucking fits.
That they got it right. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit worried about that.
How much did you end up having to pay for that?
A lot of money. I don't remember, but it was a lot of money.
And for them to not have it right the first time.
And then I feel bad.
Like that, like you see that shit, those flashing lights, like that's what had me feeling like I was so much more drunk than what I was, because the lights are just flashing and shit. You can barely see. Like it was amazing, bro. It was such a good time. And look at the people just jumping up and down. It was so fun.
You sweating your ass off?
Absolutely. I asked them like 100 times, like, dog, guys, do I fucking smell? Because I was getting so sweaty. I'm like, bro, I gotta fucking smell like ass in here. Yeah. So I asked them 100 times, did I smell? But yeah, it was.
They were probably lying. So you saying no?
Probably. Because I
this dude smells like swamp ass.
Yeah, I got back home and just immediately passed out, dog. I was gone.
I went and played
Oh,
cards on Friday, and
what cards did you play?
we played euchre and then we played poker.
Never played either of those games. You a spades guy?
Nope, never played.
I'm a
Euchre
big
is
spades
kind
guy.
of
I
like
love
spades.
Oh, okay. But continue. Sorry.
But I got home and I was laying in bed watching YouTube, and I had a piece of hard candy in my mouth. And the video, I was watching the Enjoy Basketball video.
Fucking sexiest guy you'll ever see in your life, guys.
Okay.
Continue.
I was watching the Enjoy Basketball video, and it ended, and I just shut my phone off and rolled over. And I woke up at 8 in the morning. It was like, it wasn't even 1 a.m. yet. It was still like 12:30. I woke up at 8 a.m. My glasses were still on. My watch was still on. I still had socks on, and my immediate question was, where'd that piece of hard candy go?
Okay. That's the first thing you thought about when you woke up.
Yeah, because that shit, you can choke on that if you fall asleep.
Oh,
Like,
you
that
didn't
shit
know if
could
you
kill
swallowed
you.
it or so. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
But I woke up and I took my glasses off, confused as hell.
Okay, you brought it up. You talked about waking up. So how you been? With alarmy and have you been? Not good.
Horrible, dog. Horrible. And I can't even blame Alarmy. It's 100% my fault. I'll wake up and I'll grab my phone and I'll lay back down to do the little tiles, and I'll be completely coherent. And it's like, I got another 20 minutes in me. I don't have another 20 minutes in me. It's just laziness, dog. Like, I don't want to go to work, so I'm just finding reasons to just get a little bit more sleep, and then I'm a half hour late to work. So I'm just making less money every week. It's just pissing me off.
Yeah, I feel you.
You still doing good with it?
I still am doing very well at it, and I like that's one thing about me when I drink. I've never been like hungover or anything like that. I don't know the feeling of being super hungover. Like I not that people are fucking like overreacting, but I just don't know. Maybe it was I don't know. I just don't know the feeling. So I woke up today thinking it was like 4 p.m. and I was late to work already. But I woke up and it was like 9:30. I woke up before I even had the Alarmy app like to go off. So I was up earlier as hell today. But even past today, like I've been doing very well with Alarmy. So yeah, no complaints from me here. No 10 more minutes, 20 more minutes. I haven't been on that.
Last thing before we finally get into football, 20 minutes into the episode.
30
minutes into the... Oh,
30,
bro.
yeah.
Holy shit.
Fuck it. What you got to say?
Tomorrow, first day of April.
Yup.
On the track to win $50 from Hurlins.
I think I finished the month of March. This might be my best month ever. I don't know if yesterday's things calculated, but I averaged 15,000 steps a day. I had over 460,000 steps for the month, and you were telling me I have to at least get 500,000 to beat you. So I'm hoping that's the case. I actually want it to be competitive. I don't want it to be I'm getting 17,000 a day and you're fucking 10,000. Not that 10,000 is bad or anything, but I just want it. To be some competition because I don't want it to be over 2 weeks into April and it's like, all right, just send me the fucking.
My whole plan with this, right, was the month of February. I had planned to get to a certain weight, and I just didn't give a fuck about that. But I'm a competitive person, so telling you we're gonna do this is gonna incentivize me to actually get out there and get some steps and stuff. So
yeah, do what you gotta do. And me and my brother, I've been telling my brother that I'm getting down to 200 by June 1st. I'm down to. I was telling you I was in that rut like all of February, like where I was stuck between 227 and 224. I'm 217 now. So we're getting there. We're getting there. My brother, I don't know what he is, but he said he has 19 more pounds to go to his goal. He's not as heavy as me. So I think he's trying to get down to like 190 or 180, something like that. So he's been on this June 1st stuff with me now. He's texting me now every day like, bro, this is my weight. June 1st, we're getting this, we're hitting this. He texted me today like, there's this Mexican restaurant by us. It's called Lupitas. He was like, dog, I want Lupitas. I was like, go get it then. And he was like, nah, I can't. I'm locked in. June 1st, we got to get there. So my brother's really locked in as well. So both of us are locked in. My brother's locked in. So I hope this is a great month of April for us. And like I said, I hope it's some good competition between you and I.
My whole plan of it was to get as lean as possible, like body fat wise. So when I move into my house in May and I can build my own gym, I can finally start to put on some muscle instead of having to do so much cardio and shit.
That's what's up. I hope that works out for you because like you said, I know you wanted to get down to a certain weight by March, and then 2 weeks into that, you told me that shit was dead.
That shit was dead. I didn't even try.
Hopefully you do a lot better this time, man. I'm rooting for you. But Now,
finally,
let's get
football.
into some football. 30 minutes in.
First time. We got a little bit of news
shit.
to go over, and then we'll have our draft, and then we'll get into our prospects and stuff. But Under Armour is the new official.
Completely forgot about prospects. Oh, it's gonna be a fucking 3-hour episode.
Did you do your prospects?
I did them. Like I did them. I forgot like that. I was like, fuck. We got to do those. But yeah, I did them. Yeah.
Under Armour is the new official footwear and a glove partner of the NFL for like the NFL, and then like all of their programs going up to it as well. And I would just like to say that if I was anywhere like talented at football and they handed me a pair of Under Armour gloves, I would be pissed because I despise Under Armour. I hate Under Armour with a passion.
I'm a Nike guy.
I'm pretty much anything other than Under Armour.
I'm not an Adidas guy either. I can't stand Adidas. I'm not a fan of the 3 stripes. Checks over stripes, baby.
I'm not a fan of it, but I got a pair of Donovans and a pair of Dames, and they cool. The competitive committee or some shit plan on proposing for touchbacks to change from the 30 to the 35 to encourage more returns. Thoughts?
I mean, sure, I guess. I think the kickoff should have stayed the way it was before this new dynamic kickoff, whatever the fuck they called it. But I mean, sure, if them moving it to the 35 is gonna make teams bring it out a lot more, then sure.
I just hate the kickoff. It's fucking worthless.
I do.
Pro days happen. I haven't had a chance to dive in yet, but tune in if you want, I guess. JJ Watt will be calling games for CBS with Ian Eagle. I think that's pretty cool because JJ Watt's one of the easiest to root for guys in all of football. He just seems like a good fella. And they said that he'll probably get a lot of Steelers games. So
yeah, neat. He calls his brothers games. Yeah, that's cool. Deion
Sanders got a 5-year, $54 million contract extension at Colorado, so that kind of shuts down any NFL coaching jobs for him coming up. And I love what he's been able to do at Colorado. I think it's cool as hell, and they'll continue to be good this year.
Shout out to Deion.
The NFL coaches photo came out, and those are always funny to see to me, just who they put together and who's next to each other and everything.
Yeah, like Pete Carroll in between the Harbaughs, they knew exactly what they were doing with that shit.
Chidobe Awuzie signs a 1-year deal from the Titans to the Ravens. I thought he would go back to Cincinnati, but like seeing him in Baltimore. John Harbaugh, 3-year contract extension. The Bills give Christian...
Brother's the most fucking... Like, people call me, like, what is the word for the Niners fans? Like, ungrateful or whatever it is. But, like, my brother, he sent me a screenshot of that contract, and he was, like, in all caps, no! What the fuck? He's like, I want him gone. I want him gone. Whenever the Ravens lose in the playoffs, he just fucking gets on John Harbaugh's ass. But I promise you, mid-season, he'll be loving John Harbaugh again. He don't even put any mind to that. He's just the most wishy-washy fan of all time, bro. I promise you, mid-season, he's gonna be saying he loves John Harbaugh.
The Buffalo Bills re-signed Christian Benford for 4 years, $76 million. They continue to keep their guys. I love it. The Houston Texans give EJ Speed 1 year, $3.25 million from the Colts. The Texans continue to go to their rivals and poach from them. And this had a lot of like mixed reactions. Colts fans hated him, but like a lot of other fans think he's decent. Devin White to the Raiders 1-year deal. And then the thing that actually matters.
Devin White, man, when he was good, he was really good, bro. His fall off was
so good. Quick. Yeah. Devin White and Hunter Renfrow is attempting a return.
Yeah. Shout out to Hunter Renfrow.
Maybe he go over to Carolina and pair him with Thielen. That'd be a lot of hustle and grit right there.
2 white guys. Lay the game the right way.
Stephon Diggs officially signed a 3-year, $69 million with the Patriots, and
you were saying this. If the Patriots sign him, I love their offseason even more, and they went and did it like the day after. So yeah, shout out to the Patriots, man. We've been saying all offseason, you guys are having a great offseason. It's gonna be
so fun.
Huh?
It's going to have so much competition. And I don't know if you saw or anything, but he posted on his Instagram story and was, like, questioning what number he should wear. And people were saying, like, 1, and he was like, nah, we're not doing that to the young fella. He going to have a bounce-back season. And they were saying a whole bunch of numbers, and he was responding to them and everything. And it seems like he might take 12, which I don't know if I like. I'm a dumbass. 12 is Tom Brady.
Yeah, fuck no, he's not touching 12. He's not touching 12. Fuck no.
They said 12 and he acted like he was gonna take it. I'm an idiot. But
absolutely
not. I want him to go back to 14. That Robert Spillane has 14 right now. But I hope he changes to like 42
throw him a couple dollars.
Yeah. Jawan Bentley released by the Patriots. He failed his physical. He was a captain for the Patriots for a while. Kinda sad. Tyreek Hill throws a little tantrum on Twitter for the 17th time this offseason.
No, literally, bro. I don't care what he does anymore.
Is he
bro.
getting
asked
moved?
for a trade. Like he asked for a trade the day after, like the day they got eliminated or whatever. The season ended and nothing. I've heard nothing about it the entire offseason, so I couldn't tell you.
But Brandon Ayuk just sniff a trade, and he's every news.
Oh, bro, like, I'm seeing so much shit about Brandon Ayuk. I'm thinking a fucking trade is done already. Like, every other tweet, I swear, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, it's like, the 49ers have until this day to trade Brandon Ayuk because, you know, his contract kicks in on April 1st at this time, so this is pretty much his trade deadline. And I'm like, dog, where the fuck is all this talk coming from? Like, what is going on? Like, what we're moving BA? Like, what is this? Like, every day I'm seeing updates about this, but it is April 1st now, so it seems like that trade isn't happening. But I don't know.
So.
I don't know what all that. Yeah, I don't understand why we would trade Brandon Ayuk. I mean, that's something we should have done last offseason. Why do we pay him and then trade him? I don't understand that. That's something we should have done last offseason if we were going to trade him.
Russell Wilson, 1 year, $10.5 million deal that can go up to $21 million to the New York Giants. He said he expects to be the starter.
Talking about this. Yeah.
I don't want him to be the starter because I like Jameis more than him, but I also think that this should take Shador.
Mm-hmm.
And New York expect to have a spiritual ass quarterback room because between him and Jameis, plus if you get Shador, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I seen Jameis talking about it. He was like, you know, I'm just happy to be in New York. I'm happy to, you know, I knew they were gonna bring somebody in, whether it was through the draft or free agency. So I'm just happy to be in New York. Jameis is always, you know, a super positive guy, so he was, you know, chilling about this. He wasn't, you know, worried about it. Shouts to Jameis.
The Jets give Josh Reynolds $5 million for 1 year. This is not the answer. Jets, please continue to draft receivers. Nick Sirianni was asked by Mark Garafolo. How the fuck you say his name?
You're right.
About the tush push and people voting on it. And with a grin, he says, we'll see how it goes. All I'll say is that Jonathan Gannon, Shane Steichen, and Kellen Moore better vote for it. They are in the head coach position right now because of that play. So all three, I better have those 3 votes right there and the Eagles vote. So I know we have at least 4. He just pretty much called them 3 guys out and was like, hey, y'all
we don't
suck
have
if
4.
it ain't
One of
for
you
us.
guys are, one of you guys are some hoes. But yeah, I know the Packers want this gone. I just literally before we got into the Discord call, I saw Sean McVay talking about it, and he was kind of split between it. He was like, you know, I hate taking out a play just because they run it better than everybody else. He was like, I just hate that, you know, just because they're the best at it, we take it out. But he was like, just looking at it just from football wise, it looks more like a rugby play. It doesn't look like, it's not aesthetically pleasing to the eye. It doesn't look like a football play, and the risk for injury go up and shit like that. Yeah, he's talking about the injury risk and shit like that.
The injury risk I do understand.
Yeah, he said he was kind of split on his decision, but yeah, he said he doesn't want to take something out just because they're better than everybody else at it.
I saw Sean McDermott talk about it, and he was like, we shouldn't penalize people for being better at something than everyone else because other teams have tried it and they haven't succeeded to the level that
Sean McDermott's team.
And they're probably the second best at it. Dawson Knox was pretty
for
good
sure,
at it.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, I hope they don't ban it because like I think it really is just they're just better than everyone else at it.
Darko, I'm sorry, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are apparently still waiting on a response from Aaron Rodgers. And that should not be the case. That just is terrifying to hear.
Aaron Rodgers, you're a Steeler. I said it.
John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan flew to Dre Greenlaw's house in Texas in a last-ditch effort to try to keep him after he agreed to the deal with the Broncos.
Fred Warner called him and tried to convince him. But it came down to his dad. I read this. It came down to his dad calling him and saying, if you stay in San Francisco, you're always going to be the Scotty to Fred Warner's MJ. He told Dre, go be Michael Jordan. And that enticed Dre to go leave and sign with Denver. Because we gave Dre more money than Denver gave him. Fred Warner, his best friend, is calling him, telling him to stay. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan flying to his house trying to pull a DeAndre Jordan on him, locking him inside his own house and fucking get him to re-sign. But in the end, he just wanted to go be the man, and I can't blame him for that. You know, go do what's best for your career. Go, you know, be the best player you can. And no matter how good he was, that he's right. His dad was right. That's always going to be the case. It always was going to be Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. It was always going to be Fred Warner's the better linebacker. So, I mean, hey, I'm sad to lose him, obviously. But yeah, I'm happy for him that he gets to go be the guy. Dre Greenlaw, come on the show.
And then last thing about football, I know for a 100% fact that you didn't watch, but our San Antonio Brahmas got absolutely killed.
But shout outs to destroying. I saw him hit that kick. But then I also saw him miss
one about 40 yards. So.
And they played like that to the left, and I was laughing at that. So yeah, he did shake one crazy.
Ran out the building. That's all we got. We can get into our draft.
Getting into the draft 42 minutes into the episode. What the fuck did we even talk about?
If for anybody who hasn't seen the last couple episodes, we've been drafting previous years rounds or we got the 5th round and the 6th round left.
Specific rounds of the NFL draft. And yeah, we only have the 5th and the 6th round left. So I'm gonna put them on a wheel and spin it.
And boy, I hope we get the 5th.
Spinning, so do I. And we get the 5th. We get the 5th. Thank God. Because the 5th got some pretty good hitters. And if I remember correctly, looking at my 5th round big board, the Niners are so good at drafting late in the draft, bro. Like they're so good. They're so fucking good.
I got bad news for you though.
That's fine if you have the number 1 overall pick. There's a lot more than I'm just saying there were a lot of players in here that the Niners took in the 5th round. But go ahead and take them. I know who you're gonna take. Go ahead and take them.
Out of the 2017 NFL draft, I'm taking a top 5 tight end of all time. Let me get George Kittle.
The obvious 101. But there's some talent in here, man. There's some talent in here. I just know I'm gonna take my guy, and you're gonna be like, he wasn't on my big board, wasn't on my list. But I'm gonna take from the 2016 NFL draft. Give me Tyreek Hill.
I knew you was gonna do that, so that allows me from the 2015 NFL draft.
I knew you were gonna do that. I'm glad you're doing it.
My favorite player in all of football?
Yeah.
Let me get Stephon Diggs.
I knew you were gonna do that. So from the 2022 NFL draft, give me Puka Nacua. Or 2023, sorry, 2023. Give me Puka. Yeah. Give me Puka.
Alright, now those were the easily top 4 picks.
Yeah.
That puts us into a little bit of a pickle now.
3 of them were.
Huh?
Nothing.
You said 3 of them were?
No, I said we're in a pickle.
Is better than Tyreek Hill.
We're in a pickle. Go ahead.
There has not been a point in history where Tyreek was better than Stephon.
Continue.
Out of the 2017 NFL draft, let me get one of the best running backs in football, in Aaron Jones.
Decent little pick. We're going to make it easy. We just talked about him out of the 2019 NFL draft. Give me Dre Greenlaw.
All right. Do I go defense? Yeah, I think I have to. Yeah, I definitely have to. Out of the 2016 NFL draft. No, out of 20. I don't ever do it. Let me get the big fucker. Out of 2018 NFL draft, let me get Wyatt Teller.
Okay. Dang.
It's hard now because there's a lot of guys in like similar ranges.
Similar ranges, right. I could go another Niner here, a couple of Niners here.
Definitely a couple of Niners.
Dang. Out of the... Damn.
Damn.
The Bronco?
Take the Bronco.
Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take a vet. He's been a staple at Atlanta for a while now. Out of the 2015 NFL draft, give me Mr. Grady Jarrett.
Okay. Chicago Bear, Grady Jarrett.
Oh, sorry. Fuck.
Out of the 2022 NFL draft, let me get one of my favorite corners in all of football. Tariq Woolen.
Yeah, that's who I was debating between him and Grady. Get Grady out of here. All right. from the 2021 NFL draft class, I will be taking not a
taking
former Niner. I'm taking a current Niner.
Oh,
give me cornerback Diamador Lenore. My fucking guy. I love Demo.
He's not as good as the Bronco, though.
Yeah, the fuck he is. And he's going to be an all-pro this season now that he's our number one guy.
And he's still going to get cooked by Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Not with dude over there throwing to him. So my team right now is Tyreek Hill, Puka Nacua, Drake Greenlaw, Grady Jarrett, and Diamador Lenore.
Out of the 2016 NFL Draft, let me get one of the best edge rushers from the previous couple years in Matthew Judon.
I like it. I will be taking a former Niner from the 2018 NFL Draft class. Give me DJ Reed.
I can say that he wasn't on my board.
Like, the Niners are just, honestly, just so good at drafting late. I wish we could just trade our fucking first-round draft pick for fucking 10 fifth-rounders.
So I got Zion McCollum on my board, dog.
Mm-hmm.
I got Hufanga, obviously. I've said Bronco several times. I love Hufanga. I got one of my favorite receivers in all of football, in Darnell Mooney. Henry Stud, and then I got Andrew Van Ginkel. All very good picks here. I will not be taking any of them. I will be taking.
I know who you're gonna take.
You don't know who I'm gonna take.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I'm gonna say, what's team you
Tyrone Tracy.
Wrong.
Oh.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Oh,
I didn't even look at him. I'm not taking him. I'm not taking him. Out of the 2017 NFL Draft, let me go with Matt Milano.
Yeah. Good pick. So like you said, you mentioned Darnell Mooney, Andrew Van Ginkel, Huff, Zion McCollum. Deron Bland is here. You know, led the league or had the most pick sixes of all time a couple of years ago. I mentioned Tyrone Tracy. We got Chase Brown here as well. Evan McPherson, if you know, wanted to go kicker.
Yuck.
But I will be taking, out of the 2024 NFL Draft, Tyrone Tracy.
Fair enough.
So that rounds out my team. My final team ended up being Tyreek Hill, Puka Nacua, Drake Greenlaw, Grady Jarrett, Diamador Lenore, DJ Reed, and Tyrone Tracy.
I went with George Kittle, Stephon Diggs, Aaron Jones, Wyatt Teller, Reek Woolen, Matthew Judon, and Matt Milano.
I think I won this draft, but you guys let us know in the comments below. We don't know what the fucking score is for these drafts, so we'll see what happens at the end of these. We're six drafts in. I couldn't tell you what the record is.
We're just gonna put our guys in the Madden and see who wins.
He said that last week. All right, so bet. Now let me guess. I'm picking a division. What divisions we got left?
You've done the NFC South, NFC East, AFC South, and NFC West. So AFC
what divisions
West
we got left?
Or both Norths.
AFC West or both Norths? Give me the NFC North.
Okay.
Should be a quick one, no?
Get there. The NFC North.
The Bear might be a little tough. Holy shit. The Bear's going to be tough.
Go ahead.
Okay,
so
Lions, Jared Goff. Vikings, Sam Darnold. And the Packer, Jordan Love.
Jared Goff, career high. 4,700 in Los Angeles, but he had 4,600 this year. He had 4,600 last year, 4,400 the year before. So yeah, Jared Goff is the Lion. Sam Darnold, you said for the Vikings?
Yes, sir, I did.
Are you confident in that?
Very confident.
How many yards do you think he had?
I'm gonna say Sam Darnold had like 4,300.
He had 4,319.
Hell yeah!
What'd you say for the Packers?
Sam Darnold, I love you. Jordan Love probably had like 40. If he didn't do it this year, so did he? I'm gonna say he did it last season, and I'm gonna say Jordan Love had like 4,000, not even 100, just 4,000 and some change.
This season, Jordan Love had 3,389 yards. You think he had 4K last year?
Maybe. I
last
think
season he had 4,159 yards.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Now the fucking Bear. I already know. Obviously, it's not Caleb, not Justin.
Caleb had 3,541 yards this year.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Jay Cutler, even though I know he didn't do it. I just want to see what his highest was.
Justin Fields' highest was 2,523.
Oh my goodness. Oh, hey, and I was a Justin Fields guy that they should have kept him and traded the #1 overall pick. Maybe I understand why you guys moved on.
In Chicago, Jay Cutler's career high was 3,812, but he did have 4,500 with Denver.
Okay. And this is gonna be my last guess before I'm like, we're gonna be sitting here all day. What's his name? Like Rex Grossman? Was he a Bear quarterback? I think he was a Bear quarterback. Was he not a Bears quarterback?
He was a Bears quarterback. His career high was 3,193 yards.
Oh man, then we're here all day. We're here all day. Okay, the Bears quarterback. Do you know this guy?
Nope.
Do you think I would know this guy?
Nope.
Nope. Is this guy in the Hall of Fame?
Nope.
Oh my gosh! And is this a guy? I'm born in 2000. Was this before me?
Nope.
It had to have been. It wasn't. So this might be doable then if it was after me.
Mitch Trubisky's career high was 3,223.
I didn't even think about Mitch. Shout out to Mr. Trubisky.
So if he's not a Hall of Famer, he wasn't before your lifetime. It's nobody that's played during your lifetime.
Wait, he wasn't during my lifetime?
No, he wasn't before your lifetime, but he didn't play in your lifetime either.
What the fuck is that? What riddle are we fucking doing here? What is that?
The Chicago Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer.
What? What? Hey, Chicago, bro, y'all are fucking ass. Y'all are shitty. Y'all are shitty, bro. Y'all are absolutely shitty. Absolutely shitty. What's the closest they've been? Was it Jay Cutler?
Probably. I mean, Caleb was at 35 this year. That wasn't bad. I think I said Jay Cutler at 38 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay Cutler at 3,800.
That's fucking gross. And I think I've heard that stat before that the Bears never had one. Yeah, they're fucking gross. Talking about, have you ever heard of this guy? It's fucking vacant. There's no one there. No, never heard of him. Like, bro, that.
Jim Harbaugh threw for 3,100 for Chicago.
Man, bro, the Bears never had a 4,000-yard passer. Does that change this year?
No.
Wow, Caleb doesn't get 4K.
Who's he throwing to? Rome and DJ?
Kokomet. No,
I don't know. I love to say yes because I do like Caleb, but I don't know.
All right,
to say yes.
let's get into our prospect breakdowns. As you guys know, every week Smallz and I decide on 3 prospects that we will be talking about, and my 3 prospects this week are Quinshon Judkins, running back from the Ohio State University. Terrence Ferguson, tight end from my Oregon Ducks. And my third guy, I called him Xavier, but Smallz, corrected me. Savion Williams, wide receiver, TCU.
Shouts out the Horny Frogs.
Shouts out the Horny Frogs.
My 3 guys are Torrey Horton, receiver from Colorado State, Nick Nash, receiver from San Jose State, and Dorian Strong, a corner from Virginia Tech. But my first guy, Torrey Horton, receiver out of Colorado State, 6'2", 196 pounds. His strengths are his hands are like glue. He has an outstanding catching ability. He's got a long-ass, thin frame, and it allows his strides to be like he's got long ass strides because he's so long himself. And at 6'2", he can. I don't know, probably. At 6'2", he can technically play outside because he's so big, but he's one of the guys that he's going across the middle a lot because of his speed, and he can pretty much just play anywhere on the football field. And those type of guys are the most dangerous to have because it allows you to be able to move him wherever you want, depending on what the play is. His weaknesses are that this season he suffered an unspecified knee injury that took him out for the entire season in October.
I hate the injuries that they just don't fucking know or it's not announced what it was. So hopefully, I'm wishing him well.
His frame is just a little bit too thin, so hopefully he can buff up a little bit, but his speed is going to counteract that, so I don't know how much that matters. And then he likes to use his body to catch way too much. He needs to believe in his hands a little bit more because they do work very well.
We're talking prospects, and when I started doing this catching thing, this is completely random. If you had come to compare yourself to, like, what's your NFL comp? Like, you can do quarterback and at, like, when you're, whether it's catching, when you say catching, whether it's receiver or tight end. What's your NFL?
Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle? This is the guy that said he was going to fucking route me up and lock me up. He's telling me his
That's just the
Tim
first guy
Boyle.
that came to mind that was like, he bad, but he's not that bad. Because, like, I was a quarterback, but it's not like I was any good.
Okay. And what about in terms of, like, catching the ball?
Catching the ball, I ain't dropping it, so I'm probably like Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
No, I'm not, because I can't one hand anything, so it's gonna be like, who's really good at catching with both his, like a George Kittle.
Okay, it's just one of the best tight ends ever. Okay, all right, I fuck with that. All right. Well,
and you probably like what's the little homie that went from the Giants to the Chiefs? Kadarius Toney. You like a Kadarius Toney.
Crazy. Now, I've always said at quarterback I'm a Jameis or a Big Ben type of guy, and when it comes to catching the ball, I'm a Jason Witten, a Greg Olsen. I'm gonna make the catch, but not too much run after catch. But I'm a sure-handed guy. I'm a pretty decent route runner, so I'll get open, make the catch, but I'm not getting much after the catch. Fucking
I can't
Tim
wait
Boyle
to bust your ass on the court.
Tim Boyle, look. I haven't shot a basketball since I went to the hoop that one time, but like I said, the way I play defense, I'm locking your ass up. So all I gotta do is hit a couple of shots. Maybe my shots go in that day. I'm beating you, bro. I thought about it over again. I'm beating you on the court, on the field, fucking on the soccer field, on the fucking diamond. No matter where it is, in the boxing ring, in the boxing ring, I'm beating you. Now, my first guy.
Delusional confidence.
Now, my first guy, Davian Williams, wide receiver, TCU. He's 6'4", 222. And once I read that, I was like, yeah, that's why Smallz told me to pick him, because he loves himself a big receiver. But, sorry. He has the strength to beat press man coverage, so you can't press him on the line because you're not going to jam him. He's shoving you out the way, and he's going on about his route. And for his size, he has very good speed, is what I read. And that's, again, I was like, no wonder Smallz told me to pick him. A big guy that can run fast. He loves A.J. Brown, loves DK Metcalf. No wonder he told me to pick him. And I also read that he's a utility guy. He can catch a jet sweep. He can take a direct snap. And I've seen a lot of where it's a goal line situation. They need one more yard. He'll take the direct snap and get them the first down or the touchdown or whatever it is. So I saw that. Can take direct snaps, utility guy, like I said. And one of his last strengths was he can make something out of nothing. Whether it's a short 2-yard pass, he can take that bitch for a 37 or whatever it may be. So he can make a small play that looks like it's going to be maybe a 2, 3, 4-yard gain, and he can break it loose and turn it into a 30-yard gain. So, again, once I read and watched anything about him, I was like, I can definitely see why Smallz fucking picked him, because this is right up your fucking alley. Some of his cons. A raw route runner is what I saw everywhere I looked. He's not the most sharp route runner, doesn't have the best technique. That's another thing that I saw. He needs to develop his technique. His footwork and route running just isn't the greatest. He has the raw talent, but doesn't have the technique to go with it, is what I read when I looked him up. And can have a drop problem is what I read as well. And I saw that and I was like, dang, this is Smallz' guy, but he has a drop problem. I was like, damn, bro. Damn, they say he has a lack of focus when it comes to the catch when, like I said, he has a drop problem. So I would love to see that improve. He's going to be a top wide receiver in the NFL. But just the raw God-given talent is there. But his technique and catching is going to have to be a lot better, because I saw a lot of shit about his hands when it came to TCU.
Who else went to TCU? Plays over there with Herbert.
Really? No clue. What's his face? Quinn Johnson. I didn't know he went to TCU. So TCU just don't develop fucking hands over there, huh? They just get the big guys that just genetic freaks, but they don't give them no
Can't catch
fucking
the ball to
football
save their
abilities.
life.
Yeah, don't give them nothing. I mean, shit. Okay. So, hopefully, maybe they can pair them back up together and they can both learn how to fucking catch together. But yeah, Savion Williams, my guy.
We're going to have Savion, Quentin, and Ladd in the slot. Shit, I'm down. Mike Williams going to teach them both how to be sure-handed.
Yeah, Mike Williams is back over there. Bro, the Chargers are making me drink the Kool-Aid again, man. I'm in on the Chargers. Second year of Jim Harbaugh. Justin Herbert's going to get over his playoff woes. I'm back with the Chargers, man. I'm back, baby. Kevin, let's get it done. Let's go win a Super Bowl.
They don't have Dobbins, so they can go fuck themselves, if we're being honest. My
Right.
next guy, Nick Nash, 24 years old, 6'2", 203 pounds, out of San Jose State. Some of his strengths are his body is receiver. Sorry. His body is pretty much perfect for today's NFL. If you think about an NFL receiver, this is this guy. And he's perfect at manipulating the NFL he's manipulating the football field and finding the open spots on where to sit. He's one of the best at doing such. His weaknesses: he played at San Jose State. It's a low-level competition, lots of uncontested catches, and I'm not sure if I want to fall for that because it doesn't seem like his hands are the best in the world, and when you're standing there wide open, I would hope you could catch the ball. And he's an older guy coming into the draft. He's already 24 years old, so his potential is limited. I'm not sure how much better he's going to get. And at the same time, his footwork and mechanics can both be ironed out. So he's got lots of. He's not going to be picked very high, but if he can just come in and be like kind of like an A.T. Perry from when the Saints picked a couple years ago, just a bigger guy that can come in and hopefully provide a little bit of something for you, but not one of my favorite guys I've looked at so far.
My second guy, I think this was the guy you also told me to pick. Terrence Ferguson, tight end from Oregon, 6'5", 247. I think this is one of your guys.
You said shooting guard from the Oklahoma City Thunder?
I was definitely going to say that. I was going to be like, yeah, guys, I know he switched from basketball. He's playing football now. We had Terrence Ferguson.
He lost all of his melanation.
Tight end from the greatest college sports, football team in history, better than those Ohio State bitch eyes. But some of his strengths. He has good ball skills and body control. He's great at high pointing balls. So for a tight end, that's something that I love to hear. Opposite of Savion. He's gonna make those catches. He's gonna get up there and high point those balls and make those catches. And for a tight end, he can build up to some decent speed as well. I saw that he's pretty good in the seams. The quarterback can find him there in the seams because he can build up some pretty good speed and get behind a linebacker. And this is where I got pissed off because I read his cons and everything was that he just cannot run block to save his fucking life. He is not good at run blocking. If he's there on the edge, he's no block. He's not blocking any edge rushers. He's no help there. And another thing that I read back to his catching, he's not great at catching in traffic for his size. Most tight ends are a kind of a safety blanket for a quarterback. It's like, hey, I'll just put it up here, even though there are two guys there, I'll throw it up to where my bigger guy can go up and get it. But he's not great at catching in traffic when it comes to tight end. What else did I have? And also, understandably, he is a tight end, but he's not really going to make anybody miss. He doesn't really have the footwork or the juking ability to make many people miss. So, again, he is a tight end, but he's not, bursting away from anybody or anything.
I think he's the second best tight end in this draft class.
Okay. Second to
Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren's going to be outstanding. And it's a little bit of a hot take because Colston Loveland is also a really good player, but we'll see. He's a Michigan guy, so I can't. As much as I like Colston Loveland, he gets docked points because he's from Michigan. Dorian Strong, 23 years old, 6'1", 185-pound cornerback from Virginia Tech. He's got quick hands, and when you have quick hands, it's hard to call penalties on you sometimes because it's hard to see them. He's great in press. We've talked about it a couple times with these defensive guys. His hips do not lie. He can change his direction phenomenally. He gets from this side to this side. And even if he's not taking the ball away from you, he's going to have a whole bunch of breakups because he's just all over the place.
Sometimes I think the pass breakups are kind of more not that, obviously you want the interception, you take the ball away, but the pass breakups would be more of a highlight play to me sometimes. I love seeing a pass breakup, so shouts to him.
And he's already 6'1", so it's not like he's playing small, but he's super long at the same time. So he even plays bigger than 6'1". Super long in every way, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Some of his weaknesses. The first one that pops out to me. When you pull up his film and look at him, he wears jersey number 44. That's not gonna fly in the Book of Brady, so figure that one out.
Marlon Humphrey, he's the only guy. And even then he should fucking switch, but no one else should be doing that shit.
And as I said, he is good with his hands, but he gets a little bit too handsy at times, and I don't know if the NFL No Fun League is gonna let him get away with that. He's a gambler, so not like a Jonte Porter gambler where we might be going to jail, but like he tries to get the ball more often than he has to. And then even though he is athletic, he's not really good at catching back up if he loses a step to the receiver. So that's something he'll have to work on.
All right. That's cool. Bro, I looked over at the time and realized we still have the fucking waffle. My last guy, Quinshon Judkins. My last guy, Quinshon Judkins, running back from the Ohio State University. So that means it's going to be another 2-hour fucking episode.
Yeah, you said 3
Just
though.
the fucking standard now. I did say that. But 6 foot, 221, Quinshon Judkins. He's already NFL size for a running back. He doesn't need to put on any muscle or anything like that. He's already NFL size, and he has good patience when it comes to finding his lane in the backfield, finding his rush lanes. He's not gonna force a rush. He's gonna wait for his blockers to make impact with those defenders and find his correct rushing lane. And I read this and I was like, Kyle Shanahan, if he's there, I wouldn't mind if we take him. He's great at the outside runs, and we love the outside zone runs. So if he wants to come in and play for the Niners, I would love to have him. But he's great at the outside runs, and he's also tough to bring down. Like I said, he's a bigger guy, so he's gonna be tough to bring him down. And he's also a positive pass catcher. He can come out the backfield and be a safety blanket for his quarterback. Oh, I meant to say this when I first brought him up. Born the day before me, so that's extra points. Born October 29th, I'm October 30th. So shout out to you, Quinshon Judkins. Some of his cons. This is not necessarily a con, but he averaged, I read this, and this was under one of the weaknesses that I read. He averaged less than 4 yards to carry versus 5 of his 9 conference opponents. And again, I don't know college, so I don't know if that's just like a super jarring thing that like in the conference you let rush for less than 4 yards to carry or against 5. Yeah.
They had to find stuff. He's a damn good player, so you gotta have weaknesses on your report. So
bro, I literally only had 2 because I was looking at these weaknesses like, boy, what the fuck is this? If I have to go back and look at the like pages I was on, but like literally all of them I was looking at was like, I swear this is the other one you just reworded. Like I didn't know if I was just like tweaking, and I'm like, dog, what am I supposed to put for him? But literally I only came with 2 weaknesses, and that was one of my weaknesses because there was literally nothing for me to put. So it makes sense that you're saying that they just had to fucking find some shit. I was literally.
He's fast. He's intelligent. He's athletic. He can run block.
Like
he can.
I was reading this like, what the fuck is like, what's going on? Like, is this guy just there's no weaknesses for this guy? Do people not know about this guy? But what else did I? And the other thing I had, this shows you the weaknesses. That his backup running back averaged a lot, was able to make a lot more out of rushing lanes and get more yards than him. Travion Henderson, am I saying that right? Travion Henderson
the starter. Quinshon was the backup.
Okay, average 7.1 behind that same line, and Quinshon averaged 5.5. So I was reading some things that saying maybe he may not be the most efficient running back when he comes to the NFL, but that's literally all I could find for weaknesses. Because like I said, all of his weaknesses were kind of like, it was like say 5 weaknesses, but I swear they were all saying the same thing. They all could have been just one weakness. So yeah.
Quinshon's a dog. Quinshon and Travion are both gonna be phenomenal players in the NFL. I cannot wait for them.
All right.
And that's not even me glazing. I know I have a lot of Ohio State glaze, but those guys, different level, for sure. Quinshon led the I don't know if he was first, but he was in the top of the SEC when he was over there too. And then he came to the Big Ten to play at Ohio State and continued to dominate.
Where was he before Ohio State?
I don't know, to be honest. I do know, but I don't remember off the top.
This is his only season with Ohio State.
Ole Miss, yes, it was his only season.
So he played with Jackson Dart, or is Jackson Dart not there? Was this his first season at Ole Miss?
He had 1,567 yards as a freshman at Ole Miss, 1,100 his second year, and then 1,000 this year. Sorry, you
So
said
he did
what
play
about
with Jackson Dart?
Yeah, he did.
Did they played together? Okay. Yeah, those are our prospect breakdowns for this week. Per usual, I don't have my 3 guys ready. So, Smallz, who are your 3 guys?
My 3 guys for next episode will be Jalen Royals, wide receiver from Utah State.
Never heard of him.
Shamir Dyke, wide receiver from Florida. And Darian Porter, cornerback from Iowa State. And I can tell you this already, Darian Porter is one of my favorite corners in all of football. I'm just going to dive into him a little bit more. But he's 6'3" and ran, I believe, a 4.3 40.
Did you already do Nick? No, you did. You did. I remember that name.
Eamon Yeah.
Yeah. Did you do Azaria? Holy fuck! What kind of name is this? Azaria Thomas, cornerback. I don't remember that name. That name is so ridiculous. I don't remember that. Well, he's gonna be one of my guys. Holy shit.
He's a dog.
Did you do Jaden Higgins? I remember that name. I think.
I did. Yeah.
You did Kenneth Grant. I think. Holy fuck. I'm gonna do Trey Amos. Okay, so I'll be doing Kenneth Grant, Trey Amos, cornerback from Ole Miss, Kenneth Grant, DT from Michigan, and like I said, bro, like no one knows how to pronounce his name but him. Azaria Thomas. Did you not do
Kenneth Grant? No, you did Mason Graham.
Yeah, Mason Graham. Yeah. So yeah, those are my 3. Bro, how the fuck do you pronounce? Have you heard this guy before?
Yes, he's a fucking stud.
Like, this name is insane. I have no clue how to pronounce that, but yeah, those are my 3 guys. Azaria Thomas. Okay. Why the fuck is that H there, bro? Our people, man. Our people.
Our people.
Our people. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the football talk this episode. So if you're not a fan of the WWE, this is probably where you tune out. So we appreciate you guys watching up until this point. Leave a like, comment, and sub if you haven't already. Check the TikTok and show some love over there. YouTube shorts are up as well. And go ahead and follow the Twitter. And yeah, let's get to Waffle.
I would like to start off with shouts out to D Mills and Reese for
I was gonna do that too. Yes, bro. Shouts out to them. Absolutely, bro. I was just scrolling. Like, how I found out was I was just scrolling through Instagram stories and D Mills had posted, and I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Nobody said anything about this. He's just posting this to his story. Then I went on Twitter and seen he had tweeted it out and shit. But yeah, shouts out to them.
My biggest complaint about it is that when he first brought it up on Numbers on the Board, he was like, yeah, me, Reese, and Kyron might be.
And Kyron, Yep. But look, I was thinking about that too when I was listening, but I don't think that was D Mills not asking Kyron thing. I think that was a Kyron thing, just him not doing it. Yeah. So, what the fuck, dog? Like what this shit, dog? Why not? You know, who knows? Maybe tag team talk in the Hurls and Smallz show. Maybe we, for Mania, maybe we, do a little thing.
So, my question to you.
Yes. Friday Night SmackDown has been great. It has been great. No more of hating on SmackDown. It's been good.
SmackDown has been better than Raw. SmackDown in London. Cody opens the show to a long-ass entrance of absolutely nothing. And I hate these entrances because... Cody, yeah. And like it's hard, but at the same time, it's like, dog, you just wasted my motherfucking time. Get to the point.
Not a fan of the international crowds?
No, I am. It's just not that long.
For sure, I definitely get you. Like the Seth Rollins one be pissing me off too, especially when he did that promo that was a whole lot of nothing, and he had them singing for like 10 minutes. It be pissing me off for sure. My
biggest question is, where the hell is The Rock? He just disappeared. Are we gonna see him again before Mania?
And I told Kai after the Elimination Chamber, I'm back. The Rock said, "Enjoy this ride I'm taking you on." I told Kai, I'm locked in, I'm buckled in, I'm ready for this ride he's gonna take me on.
But
well, I just unbuckled my fucking seatbelt. I'm ready to hop out the car and get out of that ride. I haven't gotten out yet, but I did take my seatbelt off. So Rocky, I'm hoping you show up in these next couple of weeks towards Mania. Please, just fucking show up one time for all I care. Just show up on the fucking ramp and don't even say shit. Just show up, please.
Hello?
He's getting a call.
Yeah, my co-host is currently driving a car without a seatbelt on. I would just like to report him.
No, The Rock is driving. I just took my seatbelt off.
Illegal. But Cody, before he can even get the word out, he says, So what do we want to talk about, London?
Mhm.
And then they continue to sing Cody Rhodes and Cena sucks, blah blah blah. And then we hear Randy Orton coming out.
Voices in my head, they count to me, they understand, they talk to me.
And they sang his entrance
Now
for a
this,
while.
now
Dog.
this one, I agree with you on the crowds. They'd be doing too much, but when it comes to singing Randy's, this has made me love Randy's entrance so much more. Like I love his theme song now. Not that it was bad or anything before. I already loved it, but now I love it times 10. Like I just love it so much, and them singing the entire thing, bro. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Randy walks out and he's talking to Cody. He said that he loves him and he's proud of him and he's happy for him. He said
It's a pleasant little surprise.
It took balls for him to leave and do what he did. He said that everybody appreciates him for what he did and how much he's grown the company. And he says that 99.9% of the growth that they've had is because of Cody Rhodes. And Randy just rabbled on for a long time without Cody even having say a single word. And then once Randy was done, the crowd started going again. So Cody still wasn't having to say anything. And Randy was like, "I wish I could sing with you guys, but then you guys would probably all leave if I did."
Yeah,
and that was a funny little line.
Yeah.
He said that he can't wait to kick Kevin's head off, which fair enough. And then he finishes with, "There will be a time for him to go get number 15." But he won't kick him in the balls like a coward. He'll look him in the eyes and tell him, "I'm coming for that trophy or that title." And it was a beautiful segment, man. I love Randy so much. And then for absolutely no reason, we get.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Don't you dare say for absolutely no reason. But continue.
You think Drew should have been in this segment?
I loved that he was in this segment. I loved that because I said Randy was a pleasant surprise, but then I heard the shing, like you said, and then and I saw Drew walk out, and I was like, hell fucking yeah. Like, yes, we didn't want to see him and Damian Priest at WrestleMania, but this shows me that WWE still sees Drew McIntyre in that echelon of guys. He's still one of their top dogs, and he can still go after that world title, the WWE Championship, whenever he wants to. So I love seeing him in this segment, and I would love for him and Cody to have a feud because he's one of the few people that has pinned Cody since Cody's been back. So I would love for them to have a feud because Drew McIntyre fucking deserves it, man. I was so happy to hear his music and him come out.
See, this pissed me off because Drew's one of my favorites in the company, and the fact that he's even screwing with Damian Priest right now just pisses me off. This should be the type of stuff he's in.
For sure. But we'll talk about that when we get there.
But he walks out and he said, "Look at this, isn't this nice? We got two Nepo babies out here talking to each other."
Oh, Drew McIntyre. Oh, Drew McIntyre. I love Drew McIntyre.
I love the international crowds. I think they add so much, but at the same time they take so much away. So it's hard to. But he goes out there and says that he should have listened to John Cena. If he would have the night before, then he wouldn't have to be dealing with what he is right now.
And I love this because we talked about this a while ago. Like, he's one of the heels. It's like he's not just the bad guy just to be the bad guy. He has reasonings, and you can see why he's right. Yeah, so shouts out to Drew, bro.
And he was like, "I wish that I could be a part of this feud right now. This is something I should be, like, he should be in this scene, but he's got to deal with the Timu Undertaker."
Yeah.
He tells Randy it won't be him to take the title from Cody because he's coming for Cody's throne, which is great. He said that Randy looks jacked on the outside, and he was all proud of him, and he was glazing his physique a little bit. And then he said, "But on the inside, that back is hanging on by a thread. And if it ever came down to me and you, I know what to attack." And then Cody kicks him, and Randy goes for the RKO, and he kind of rolls out of the ring, and we get Randy and Drew later on in the episode. Beautiful segment.
When that match got announced, I was hype as hell. And again, Nick Aldis never got a fucking show planned. He always making matches on the fucking fly. I said this last week. He never got shit planned.
We get the Profits versus Street Deadly. Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly. And Pretty Deadly is damn good. Real good.
I love them.
And their gear, because it's in London and they're from London, was beautiful. Back and forth match for a long time. There was a couple saves. And then we get the Doomsday Blockbuster. And that shit is so pretty, dog. That's one of my favorite moves right now. And
yeah,
the Street
this is a
Profits,
fun match.
they defend cleanly.
The crowd added to it, but the tag team division on SmackDown has been so much of everybody getting involved in any match that happens. So I would have liked to see. Yeah, I definitely thought I didn't think they were gonna lose clean. I definitely thought the Profits would retain, but I thought it would be because Los Garzas or Motor City Machine Guns or DIY comes out and does something. But they lost clean, and I mean, it is what it is. It was a good match, but I just expected everybody else to be involved.
And then we have my girls back there, Zelina and Kaden Carter, with Katana Chance talking about the Secret Harvest when they walk in, and they yap about nothing for a while. It's telling Zelina she's real small, and they pull her jacket back and expose but we get Piper and Alba versus Kaden and Katana, and I love Kaden Carter. I think she's phenomenal. I don't really understand why Zelina wasn't out there at the ring with them and why she had to kind of run out after they had already lost. It's driving me absolutely nuts how dominant they're making Piper feel. I don't like Piper Niven. I need them to stop that as soon as possible. No. We mind Piper.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alba Fire's been really good though. I like her.
She is really good. She's super underrated. But I meant to say this about the Profits, and it reminded me because of Zelina and what they did to her entrance music. I hate what they did to the Profits entrance music. I really do. I love their old theme so much, and I hate what they did to it. Because when they first played, I was like, boy, who the fuck is this? Then they started saying the Profits and whatever, and I seen the name, so I was like, okay. And then Zelina shit, I fucking can't. I can't. I despise. It's awful. The Profits ain't as bad, but it's just what they had before was so much better. But Zelina's is just absolute awful. I hate what they did to her.
I'd be pissed if I was her.
For sure.
But Piper and Alba Fire win. I still miss Isla Dawn. Then they start to beat down Kaden and Carter after the match. Zelina, as I said, runs down. She kind of knocks them all down for a second, but then it's a 3-on-1, so she just gets her ass whooped. And Zelina, come on, let's win the championship, please. I'm tired of Chelsea Green. Shout out Zach.
Get to Mania. Hopefully this. There's a bunch of what are they doing with that for Mania? What are they doing with the U.S. title for Mania? There's just the Raw tag team titles. There's a couple plot holes missing in this WrestleMania. We'll see what they do with these last couple of weeks.
Raw tag team is definitely. We'll get to that. Then we get Braun and LA Knight, and they're continuously talking on there how LA Knight shouldn't have helped him last week. He should have let Braun get beat down, and I don't disagree. But they make Braun Strowman look gigantic like they always do, like he's the monster among men. LA Knight finally gets started to rolling. Braun gets him out of the rink at one point. He starts to hit his little express.
Turning up, yep.
And out of nowhere, here comes Jacob Fatu with a forearm. He attacks LA Knight as well. And he just whoops both of their asses for a while and yawn. Yeah, it's probably going to be a triple threat at this point now.
That's what I was thinking. Is he involved in this U.S. title picture? But then what does Solo do at WrestleMania? And I was like, okay, but then you can't do that. Solo carried so much when Roman was gone and he was leading the bloodline. He did so much good work with him and Cody. He just cannot miss WrestleMania. So that's why I'm so confused in what they do. Is it a fatal four-way for the title, for the U.S. title? I don't know what happens. Is it just Solo and Jacob? But it seems like Jacob and Braun still have some shit going on. But now he's attacking LA Knight, so I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens.
Can a heel turn?
For sure. Finn Balor did it at SummerSlam to Damian Priest.
True.
And I think Dominic Mysterio's getting ready to do it to Finn Balor. So yeah, I think they can. So I mean, so maybe Solo can turn on Jacob. That does make sense. I would see that. But if that happens at Mania, I expect Solo to have his own match though. I don't think just Solo being on the card would just be him interfering. So I think he deserves his own match. But we'll
he
see.
Definitely deserves it. I just don't know how he gets there.
Yeah. Maybe they do that before. Maybe they do LA Knight, Jacob, and Braun next week or some shit, and then that's where Solo does something, and then I don't fucking know. I don't.
We get Jimmy Uso's interview with Jackie Redmond, and he's saying how Gunther is beatable and how him and Jay are both gonna beat him. We get an interruption from Mello Don't Miz, and he's saying how they won't beat Gunther. And how they've been career-long sidekicks, and they're going to continue to be that, especially once Mania goes and they lose. And then he says, if you would have slapped me like that, you'd still be on the ground. And Jimmy lifts his arm and he fucking cowards away.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a pussy.
Shout out to Miz.
And then we bounce back to the locker rooms with Solo and Tama. Intervention with Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
And Solo was like, you ain't say nothing to nobody. What's going on with that?
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob said that he doesn't have to say anything to anybody. He's going to do what he wants because they didn't say anything to him last week when they interfered with his match against LA Knight.
Yeah, that I mean.
What were they saying for Fatu when he attacked? Ooh, I don't know. They were chanting for him too though. Solo
the crowds love him. It's only a matter of time before he turns, I think.
Solo tells him he better lower his tone, and then Fatu does, and he said that Braun is his, and he'll be the last man standing, whether it's with or without them. Kind of cool. Then we get the love of my life, and personally, if I had her, I wouldn't be getting whooped to have my own blood coming out on the ring. So, Naomi has a segment. She's saying that she's always done the right thing. And she's saying, Bianca, I don't know why you think that me attacking Jade was with bad intent and not still the right thing. She's saying, who's always had your back? It was me and not her. She said she's done with being treated as the third wheel and done with being too nice and done with being used and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And then she looks at the camera real close and goes, proceed with caution. And she's wearing all the caution shit now. And I think that shit was hard.
Hey, Naomi, you know, you're married into the family with the Usos, you know, Roman, The Rock, you know, The Rock's in Hollywood. Hey, call him up and get yourself a fucking acting gig, because she's been acting her fucking ass off ever since she's turned on Bianca and Jade or whatever. She had the tear coming down her eyes, and then she wiped that shit away and turned back up. She's been doing some good ass work, and them two, this feud has been fucking cooking. They've been doing a great job of building this feud. So, and like I said, when I realized it was going to be Naomi and Bianca and Jade, I was a little upset, but Naomi's been doing a damn good job, so I'm excited to see how this feud turns out.
You said good ass, and you couldn't have been any farther from Lord have mercy.
In a couple of different ways.
Then we go to Jade Cargill with Nick Aldis in his office. And she's wanting Naomi, and he's like, we haven't seen her. We don't think she's here. Yada, yada, yada.
No damn well she's there.
She turns the corner and bumps into B-Fab and Meechin, and they're yapping per usual because neither one of them ever have anything important to say. Then they go out to have Meechin's match against Charlotte. And as soon as they're getting announced, Naomi attacks them from behind and whoops both their ass. And she's beating the shit out of B-Fab. And Jade runs down to attack Naomi, and Naomi runs away. As Jade's walking out with B-Fab, Charlotte's music hits. And then that little stare down between them was tough. Even though Charlotte looked goofy as a motherfucker in that outfit.
Nah, I fucked with it. Hell, it was like the way they just stared at each other and just looked each other up and down, man. It was tough. I loved it. And but all that tells me is, bro, Tiffany Stratton don't mean shit. Bro, Charlotte's gonna go and win this fucking title, and she's gonna go on to have all these matches with everybody else, bro. Tiffy, I'm so sorry. I love you, but they taking that belt off of you at Mania. I'm sorry.
Tiffy, I'm not sorry. I don't really fuck with you, so it's cool by me.
All right, Tiffy, I was just about to say come on the show, but you're never gonna do it now.
Bianca, come on the show. We get Charlotte.
Nah, don't come on the show, Bianca, because Montez is gonna have to whip my ass. So no, don't come on the show. Go ahead.
Montez is gonna have to get his ass whooped. You think he could beat our ass 1v2?
Absolutely. 1v2, it's like, bro, I'm gonna say, like, just as a man, us two, I'm gonna say no. He's not gonna beat our ass. He'll probably, you know, maybe get some good hits in on us. But I think at the end of the day, it gets to the point where maybe we don't win the fight, he doesn't win the fight, it just gets broken up or something, you know. We're all three of us are walking out with some fucking scratches, some, you know, battle.
I'm gonna be honest. He's gonna give one of us a two-piece combo, and then it's just gonna be a one-on-one.
One-on-one, for sure. Yeah, probably. So yeah, we apologize, Bianca. Don't come on the show because Montez is gonna whoop our ass. So
you're gonna have to pay the hospital bill. We get Charlotte and Meechin, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch this shit because we know that Charlotte's not losing. And I don't like Meechin.
I love Michin. I'm going to NXT next week. She had a nice little run in NXT. Maybe she's gonna be back there again. But yeah, shouts to Michin.
Never invites me to go.
Are you gonna come to Orlando so we can go? It's free. So if you ever want to come, we can go.
I would love to come. Tiffy is backstage with Jackie Redmond after this match, and she said that they ask her about her little conversation with Charlotte last episode, and she says that she's so insecure she couldn't let a rookie get a single word out. If I lose, I lose to a legend. If Charlotte loses, she loses to a blonde-haired little girl. Blah 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 blah. And it's like,
nah,
this is the route we're going with her.
Yeah, and I seen Reese. Shout out Reese. We were just talking about the tag team talk. That's what it's called. And he made a tweet. It's like, because Tiffy was like, I have nothing to lose. If I lose, I lost to Charlotte Flair, whatever. But he made a tweet like, Tiffy, you have the fucking championship to lose. And I was like, dog, like literally, like Tiffy went out there and said, I have nothing to lose. I'm the rookie. But it's like, yeah, it would be different if Charlotte was the champion and you were challenging her, but you're the champion. So your mindset can't be coming into that, I have nothing to lose, when you have the biggest thing a woman can win in the WWE to lose. So I don't know how I felt about that. This whole feud in general, I don't know how I felt about it.
They're saying Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and I'm gonna make sure that Charlotte's ego stays in Vegas.
It's leaving Vegas because Charlotte's walking out as champion. Yeah, love you, Tiffy. I'm running on Tiffy time. That's why I'm always late. But yeah, no, it's Charlotte's walking out of Mania as champion.
Dog, I'm late to everything. After this,
I don't know what time you're running on. You're running on fucking West Coast time.
After this, we get Drew and Randy. As you said, you were excited for this, and it was confusing to me because at this point, I knew neither of them could really take the pin at this point, so I knew it wasn't going to be a clean match. And I was completely waiting for Damian Priest to come out. I didn't think it was going to be Kevin, but I should have expected Kevin. They both had good moments, going back and forth, looking really good. Randy sees Kevin walking out and gets distracted. It lets Drew hit the Claymore, and then Drew uses that distraction to win. And then Kevin pulls Randy out and starts to beat him a little bit, and he tries to hit the pile driver on the announce desk. But Randy kicks out of it and then lines him up to hit the punt, but Kevin rolls out and
yeah, they're gonna keep teasing with us that every week. Like, we know he's not hitting it as long as it's not fucking WrestleMania.
If it's not Mania, you're not doing it.
Yeah, you're not doing it. Yeah. But yeah, I thought this match was gonna go on for a bit longer. I think it definitely would have main evented if it wasn't for the contract signing or whatever. But it was still pretty decent for what it was. But yeah, I expected a little bit more.
After that, we get Jimmy and Miz, and once again, didn't watch a whole lot of this one because I knew they weren't making Jimmy lose to no fucking Miz. And as much as I love the Miz,
the Miz's name, yeah, thank you.
You can't. I love the Miz, but he's not serious anymore, like at all. The only time you see the Miz is for him to lose.
Two-time Grand Slam champion, WrestleMania main eventer, beat John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania, bro. I love the Miz.
I love the Miz too. Challenge legend.
Yes, and real world. Yeah, shout out to the Miz, bro. But
bro, if I'm CM Punk, it's like, this the fucking guy in the main event over me?
Hey, bro, not too much, man. Continue.
Drew daps up Louis Capaldi backstage. Kind of a cool little segment. Louis Capaldi ugly as hell, but makes beautiful music, so shouts out to him. He says that me and Louis are going to hit the pub after the show.
Everybody's invited. Were you there?
Everybody's invited, yeah. No, I couldn't make it to London, but I was
there.
I called Drew and I was like, man, just a bad night. I didn't see it in time. That's on me. And he was pissed, so hopefully I can smooth things out with him. But he's got to get that glass out of his eye. And as he's getting ready to walk out, Jackie Redmond runs over to him and it's like, Drew, wait! And wants to talk about him versus Randy, and he's all in a good mood, and he's saying that Damian didn't even have the balls to show up after he called him out.
You already knew Damian was going to come running around the corner. You already knew it once he started saying that shit.
He opens the door, and Damian's just standing there.
Yeah.
And Damian beating the shit out of him against the car, and some dude's like, hey, this is my car, and he just body slams that random guy for no reason. And then he south of heavens him on top of the windshield. And looks at him and says, rest in peace, jackass. He says, it's alright, guys, I'm done now. And Drew actually got glass in his eyeball from the fucking car windshield, so that's scary. Hopefully he's all good.
He's good, yeah.
And then we finally get something of importance this episode.
Ow.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Nick Aldis is out there announcing the contract and the entrance of the big three. We get Roman to come out first, and he's wanting to rush it along so he can get in and out of there. And as much as I've never been a Roman guy, if you look up aura in the dictionary, you might as well put a picture of Roman Reigns.
Bro, and that's the thing. I'm not a huge Roman guy either, but this is why I want him there so much more, because when he's there, it just feels like it's must-see TV. Like, you just have to be watching, because like you said, his aura, and I know aura is a word that just gets thrown around all the time now, but literally, like you said, if you look up aura, it is Roman Reigns. Just the way he walks to the ring, it's just different, bro. There's just something about him that you just cannot teach, bro. So that's why I just wish he was. When I say he should be more there more, it's not me knocking him. It's like, dog, we want to see you more. We need you around more. You just make the WWE better than what it is without you. So I absolutely love Roman, bro. Shout out to him.
And they start the Cody Rhodes chants for Roman.
Yeah, yeah. And they did it for Io Sky on Raw, so it's like if you have like a 2-syllable first name and a 1-syllable last name, it seems like you're just getting that same chant. Roman Reigns, and then they did it for Io, and Cody has his. So yeah, it's not like I was mad over it, but it was.
And he holds the mic over to Paul Heyman to get Paul Heyman to sing it too.
Boy, never again, never again, never again.
He said the OTC is here to do 2 things: 1, to be acknowledged, check. And 2, to sign this contract. And as he's wanting to get out of there, Seth comes out, and Roman looks absolutely pissed. So that was kind of fun. He mentions how they landed on the roof in a helicopter in that same arena, and they came down, and he kept saying, we. He said, over the last 12 years, things have changed. There's been a little bit of love and a whole lot of hate. He said, we accomplished our mission. We did what we set out to do. And Roman says, you keep saying we, I don't know why. We died a long time ago.
Tell his ass, Roman.
He said, I made this place. I did all the hard work. And where were you, or some shit like that. And Seth said that he should have let Roman should have let Seth take out CM Punk. He should have let him get the snake out of the garden. But Seth's there to clean Roman's mess up once again. And then we get the... And then we
look at my what do you see?
And there were 5 security members behind him.
See, it was a tough ass entrance. I fucked with
he just stops and looks at him, and then he walks out a little bit, and just like, all right, this is what we getting into. And he's standing up on the ropes, and he said, I'm here to chew bubblegum and sign a contract. And he slams the mic down and goes, and I'm out of bubblegum. And that shit made me laugh.
I love CM Punk, man.
And then he actually sits down and starts to read the contract, something you never see. And Roman looks at him, and he's like, hey, bud, what are we doing here? Look at page 4, clause C, and whatever. And he's like, we are on television.
Yeah.
And that shit was funny. And then we get... He says, Paul, handle your guy. And Paul Heyman walks over to him and he goes, CM Punk, I know what you're looking for. And let me tell you, it is in there. He said, you're closing the show at WrestleMania. You get to live your dream of all dreams. CM Punk is a WrestleMania main eventer. And that shit... Man.
Bro, it was beautiful. And it's funny watching it because you got CM Punk getting emotional, Paul Heyman fucking kissing him and shit. You got Roman grinning from ear to ear just laughing because it's like, I do this shit. I've done 10 of these times. Yeah. And then you got fucking Seth just losing it. He's pissed. So you just see 3 different fucking emotions from the same fucking outcome from him at main event in WrestleMania. One dude sad, one dude crying tears of joy, one dude laughing because he just does this all the time, and the other guy just absolutely pissed. It was beautiful.
This is not something to laugh at. He doesn't deserve it.
Tell his ass, Seth.
Punk stands up after crying. He thanks the crowd. He thanks Chicago. He thanks Philadelphia. And then Roman says that you shouldn't be thanking them. You should be thanking your tribal chief. And he tells him to acknowledge him. And Paul Heyman looks at him and says, don't do it. So that was kind of interesting. And then he says, "Thank you, my tribal chief, the holder of the Umafala, the head of the table, the big dog, for allowing a kid from Chicago to be graced by your presence." And he went on and on. And then he stands up and signs the contract. And he said, "We'll be sharing the ring together at WrestleMania," or something like that. And he says, "Thank you again." And then he stops and looks real evil for a second and says, "But that's not the favor I'm owed." And the show just clicks off. And that shit, tough.
Yeah, it's tough, but like, god damn, man, when are we gonna know what the favor is? Like, please, man, please get to it already. But no, it was definitely a great segment, a lot better than what they did the previous week. So I enjoyed this a lot. Shouts to CM Punk for finally getting that main event. And Seth, bro, I'm drinking that fucking haterade, dog. Like, fucking crashing out and shit over there. On the Monday Night Raw.
On to the weak-ass, bum-ass, piece of shit-ass show that I usually like more, but has been absolutely god-awful the last 2 episodes because they have 1,700 commercials. Wow. Monday Night Raw. We get John Cena opening the show once again. And Cody interrupts him pretty much immediately. And he said, "Cena, where do you want to start making fun of me at?" He said, "I had the lisp. I struggle to say stuff with S's, especially Stardust." And the crowd erupts a little bit. He says, "I got an arm tattoo, but it's on my neck." He said, I was booed in a company that I created." He said, "You could go a whole bunch of different ways. Where are we going, Cena?" Mm-hmm. It says, Cena said he's not there to punch Cody down. Or he's not there to knock Cody down. Huh?
To cook him?
To cook him, yeah. And he's not there to protect him either because enough people have done that. Mm-hmm. And he said that he's not gonna he's gonna bury Cody like he did a bunch of other people. He said, "I don't bury talent. I am the talent. I bury mediocrity." That line, hard.
He had a couple of lines tonight, man. Whoo!
He said that him and Cody used to ride together, and that Cody stole the entire blueprint. It's not authentic. He's too perfect. He's too polished. He relies on his lazy gimmick and the song to carry him through things. He said that the errand boy got lucky.
Mm-hmm.
He could, man. Cena was on a heater. And then Cody says that nobody chose him.
Cody said, "I'll spin the fucking block on your stupid ass." Go ahead,
That's exactly what he said, bar for bar. "I'll spend a stupid block on your stupid ass."
Uh-huh.
He said that he was chosen by the fans. And then he looks at Cena and says, "Can you say the same, John Cena?"
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Or was it a guy in an offense that we don't talk about anymore?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who's that guy?
We don't talk about him anymore.
He said that you're the company creation, John Cena, not me. He said, "You got more dick in that promo than you do in those jorts."
They were cooking. They were cooking.
"Between you and I, which one sold out to The Rock? You're still my hero, but you're also a piece of shit."
Texting my brother. Cody been just letting it fly, bro. He been cursing his ass off ever since he got in this feud with John, bro. He been cursing his ass off, and I'm here for it.
Cody didn't back down a bit. Cena came up there and cooked, and Cody fired right back at him. Not a lot of guys are doing that. Mm-hmm. And Cena looks at him and says, "At your best, you still can't wipe my ass."
And Cena had that line. Are you gonna go ahead? Go ahead. Let me let you continue. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
"I make empires for billionaires. All you've ever done is steal money for their kids."
Fucking goodness, this might be the greatest bar I've ever heard in WWE history, bro. That bar, I was like, holy shit, Cody might be done for. Cody, you might have to just hit your music and get the fuck up out of the ring, because John Cena did not come to fucking play. But like Cody. I said, Cody said, "I'm spinning the block on your stupid ass." Continue, man.
John Cena walks out, and Cody stops him, and he said, "Wait, John, have you ever heard these fans say..." He said, "Never once has this crowd chanted that you can't wrestle, Cody. Can you say the same?" And John gets pissed. They start chanting it to him again, and the anger's building inside of him. So he runs in for a second. He looks at Cody. He's like, "That's not the thing to do." So he kind of fakes him for a second, then goes at Cody again. Cody hits the fucking the kick and then the little punch up thing, and that thing's shit. And then he hits the crossroads. No, the punch up thing was when he was with Randy on Drew. But yeah, he hits the crossroads on John Cena, and then he did the Bullet Club signature thing, and I think that's hard too. Wonderful segment.
What
Dead ass.
a fucking segment. And my brother had texted me. He bro, it's up there. He texted me. He was saying, bro, Cena is talking his talk right now. And then he kept on watching. He was like, Cody's talking his shit too. And this was before I watched, so I was excited to go in there. And then I watched it, and then it blew my expectations out the fucking water. Bro, this shit was so fucking good. That you just take money from billionaires' kids was fucking crazy. Was
At your
crazy,
best, you
bro.
can't wipe my ass.
Like, bro, and then him talking about, I forget the exact word he used, but like my co-pilot, because they used to ride together. Now it's just like, I forget the exact word he used, but my goodness, they were in there fucking cooking. If I had to give it, I'd say Cena won, but it was like 51% to 49%. That's what it was, so close. Cena maybe won by this much. It was such a good promo battle, and I'm glad that I know people wanted that, and I can't blame you for that. And I know people wanted them to like do this for weeks, for the past couple of weeks, but I kind of like them not going back and forth those last couple of weeks and kind of building up to this, because it built up to such a great moment. Like, this is what we waited for. And I understand the argument of like, yeah, we could have gotten this level of promo battle 3 different times instead of them just talking and then the other leaving, Cody hitting it saying fuck you John and just hitting my music and I'm running out of here. But I appreciate them just kind of building up to this one moment, because this one moment was fucking phenomenal. And this might not have even been the best segment of the show, by the way. Continue. And
after them, we get the New Day. Thank God, the New Day is just so good these days.
Ready for this. I love New Catch Republic, bro. That's like that might be my guilty pleasure. Bro, when I seen Adam Pearce come out and say New Catch Republic, I was kind of hype. I will not lie. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne together, I just love them together, dog. I fuck with New Catch Republic heavy. When they were in that like 6-pack ladder match at WrestleMania, I wanted them to win one of those titles so bad. I fuck with New Catch Republic. Those are my guys.
He says that New Day are going to be forced to earn it. You know, New Catch Republic comes out. Tyler Bate tore his pec last July. We haven't seen him since. I don't really give a damn about New Catch Republic. And to be honest, we kind of knew that New Day had to win to push their agenda.
For sure, but it was definitely kind of weird. Like, you have Tyler Bate come back. New Catch Republic is back. Pete Dunne's all of a sudden a good guy again now just because Tyler Bate's back. But then you have them lose, so it's kind of like whatever happened. One team is kind of going to be fucked because they make their return and they're losing. But then if the New Day loses, it just ruins all the little bit of steam that they had left. So I understand why the New Day had to win. It was just weird that they put them up against New Catch Republic, who were re-debuting.
They finally get a good win under their belt, though, against some real competition. And as they're walking out, Kathy Kelly kind of meets them in the little tunnel. And she asks...
Are you slow? Sorry.
She asked if their win cements that they should get a chance at the tag titles, and yeah, he says, "Are you slow?" And I love Xavier Hill,
bro. He's so good.
And they both get fired up a little bit, and then the War Raiders music hits, and then they just come out and literally stare at each other for a while. That shit was ass.
Who on the War Raiders? I hope New Day wins these belts, because I'm kind of, not that I don't like the War Raiders, or they're just
I don't like the War Raiders.
All right.
Then we get Jimmy and Jay backstage. Jay tells Jimmy he wants to be all by the ring with him, and Jay says that he needs to be careful with Gunther. Jimmy doesn't want him out there. And then we get Jimmy and Gunther the match. And holy shit. Is that what you were talking about, or are we talking about the ending? This had to have been it, because the ending was weak as fuck. I'm going to be honest with you. You would have to pay me a shit ton of money to take one of them chops. Like a shit ton of money.
No, it's crazy. It is crazy. The sound and the Bianca hair whip. You honestly have to pay me a lot to take those shits, because the sounds those two things make are ridiculous. The Bianca hair whip you're taking for free, huh?
Be in her presence. Gunther could have won this match pretty early on, like right after the commercial break, and he kept like resuscitating him and then letting him get back in it first.
Not to cut you off, I love that they had Wade Barrett on here too. So it's like, why can't we do this with Corey Graves? So why can't Corey Graves just be part of a 3-man announced team? But hey, it is what it is. But I love that they had Wade Barrett here as well.
I miss Corey, man. I love Corey.
I do
Graves.
too. When he came in and filled in for when Pat wasn't there that one episode, I was like, dog, bro, I miss this so much. Corey Graves is so good. I'll see you at NXT next week, Corey. Maybe we can, get some lunch or something.
He should be back after Mania, right? How long
probably when college football season starts, because that's when Pat left last year, when the college football season, because he does, what is it called, college game day, whatever it's called.
But as I said, Gunther kind of resuscitated Jimmy a bunch of times and was just beating the shit out of him. And then he finally put him in the sleeper to win the match. And after they announced he was the winner, he once again puts him in the sleeper and is just choking the shit out of him. Jay's music comes. He goes out there and saves him. And I
feel like we haven't had a good eating in a while. Like we haven't
had a good eating. As soon as the commercial break ends, Gunther runs back out and attacks Jay again. Whoops the shit out of Jay. Whoops the shit out of Jimmy again. He assaults both security guards. He zip ties Jay to the rope so that Jay can't get to Jimmy. And he just absolutely fucking dominates Jimmy, dog. Jimmy was gushing blood. He was choking him out. He was beating him. He was doing whatever he wanted just to kind of get into Jay's head. And Jay was trying his ass off to get out of them little zip ties. And
this was beautiful.
This was easily their best segment in weeks. Gunther,
and I think this was the best segment of the show. I know how good Cody and Cena was, but I think especially for this feud needed this, and the fact that them three went out there and put this on, bro, this was absolutely beautiful.
Gunther kind of put his fingers in Jimmy's blood and then licked it. That shit.
Rubbed that shit all on his body, then licked it, bro. I knew Gunther was like a bad guy, but this took him to another like fucking level, bro. This was just beautiful on all fucking fronts. And I don't know if you were watching back then, but Randy Orton did something similar to Triple H back in the day, where he had like handcuffed them to the like corner of the fucking ring, and then he had like kissed Stephanie McMahon, and Triple H was going crazy in the center of the ring, and it kind of reminded me of that. So this was such a good segment for him to get fucking zip tied to the rope, and Gunther just whooping Jimmy's ass, and this just needed this, bro. And this brought so much life to this feud, and I was so happy when Jay won. I was so interested to see what they were gonna do, and then it just flopped because they were using fucking Alpha Academy and fucking A-Town Down Under to try to build this feud. And now you go and get Jimmy, and look at what it turns into. So hopefully fucking Sami Zayn is next or something, because he's an honorary Uso member of the fucking Usos. So maybe that gets this even some more like fucking steam and continues to build towards Mania. But this was absolutely beautiful, and I think this was the best thing on Raw tonight. And I know how good Cena and Cody was, but this was so fucking good. The emotion when Jay was screaming and Jimmy was right there, but he is like so close but so far, couldn't grab him, but he's right there, and he's screaming his ass off. Man, it was fucking beautiful. But Jay, I know you could have fucking ripped that fucking zip tie off of the ropes, fucking little weak ass. But yeah,
I don't think you know how strong zip ties are.
But it's like, I was just watching a clip not too long ago where Mark Henry had broke the fucking chain off of the steel cage. So it's like, if Mark Henry's doing that, you tell me, Jay, you can't fucking rip a zip tie off of a rope to go save your brother?
Dog.
To go save your brother?
Them chains are pre-cut.
No, Mark Henry had a thing. He had talked about it. I think it was with Chris Van Vliet. He was like, the person that was supposed to cut the chain forgot to cut it. Like, there's a clip where Mark Henry goes to pull it and it's supposed to snap immediately, but it didn't snap. And like, he was telling the story like how he was like actually pissed because he had to keep on fucking pulling at it, and eventually he got it to broke because the guy that was supposed to put the incision in it never put it in it. So he actually had to go and break the chain. So that's why I was bringing that up. So shouts to Mark Henry. So Jay, you didn't want it bad enough. You didn't want to save your brother. You didn't want to save Jimmy. Because if that was Rodney in the middle of the ring, boy, that entire rope would have been coming with me.
Rodney might have died.
Wow. Continue, man. Continue.
Shit, if that's you, Greg, I'm in the fucking locker room still.
Wow. You weren't even coming out to help him. All right. Wow. And this same Greg that's getting married this Saturday. Uh-huh. And this is the guy you had. Wow. Maybe you need to rethink who's part of your wedding, Greg. You know, I'm free Saturday if you need a guy.
But per usual, after an absolute banger of a segment, you gotta bring the vibes way down. We get the weekly backstage segment of the Judgment Day. Finn's all happy again. He said, brothers always make up. No more new member funny business. That's all behind us. He says that we're going to show Braun and Penta that the Judgment Day is a well-oiled machine and that he's going to go get his title. And he said tough loss. Raquel lives all upset with him because she's like, "What? Why did he say that he won when y'all won?" Blah, blah, blah. But that's after, actually, so I'm just talking. But we get Penta and Braun versus Dom and Finn with Carlito. And Braun is unbelievable. And he suplexed Finn and Dom both at the same time. That shit was hard. And then he clotheslines the shit out of Finn. Penta kind of just got the raw end of a short stick here because he had to take the pin and everything, and he didn't even look very good throughout.
Yeah, Braun Breaker wasn't taking that pin.
Hell no. But Braun's about to run full speed as Penta's kind of holding on to Finn. Finn jumps out of the way. Dom pushes Penta into Braun, and Braun spears Penta, and then Finn hits the coup de grace on Penta for the win. I love the coup de grace. I think it's so unique. And then there's a little bit of beef between Penta and Braun later on. But after that, we get another shit-ass segment where Gable's backstage with Adam Pearce. And he's saying, good signing with Grande Americano. His little goofy ass.
Yeah.
And he's saying that he's still got that doctor note. And Adam Pearce is like, well, that sucks because next week's in Minnesota or Memphis, wherever the hell it is. And Gable's like, well, that's my hometown. I'll be good by then. And he's saying, no, your doctor's note matters. We want you to get back to full health. And we'll give Grande Americano a match instead. Shit's garbage. Then he turns around and sees Otis, calls him an idiot, and Maxine is like, hey, we want to talk. And Adam's like, all right, we can talk about Otis and little homie. And she's like, no, I want to talk to you about my career. And then it cuts. Then we have Braun and Penta backstage, all both fired up. Understandably so. AJ Styles comes out. Another garbage ass segment. You know I love Logan Paul, but this shit was horrible.
This was a whole lot of nothing. And I was kind of excited for this, and this was absolute. What are they beefing over? Like, what are they about to have a Mania match for? Like, AJ Styles, and they started him with something with him and Braun Breaker, and they dropped that so he could go after Logan Paul, and I don't understand that because what started this? I don't know. It's a pointless feud, and this segment was not very good.
They keep changing Logan Paul's theme up just a little bit, and it's driving me nuts.
Bro, I told you this a while ago. If Logan's thing didn't say the Ayo, I would not know who the fuck that was, bro. Like, I literally would not. I don't know his entrance music whatsoever. I literally only know the Ayo. I know the Ayo, and that's it. Like, and then tonight it was talking about some fucking humble and shit. Like, Wade Barrett was talking about it. It says humble, and I fucking know. Yeah, I literally only know the Ayo.
Logan says he does what he wants, and they'll wait. He said he had a change of heart, and he's going to teach his daughter the art of forgiveness.
Yeah,
he says he forgives him for what he did to him at Madison Square Garden. The fans start chanting Primus shit. They said that he's talking about how like they don't have money and a whole bunch of bullshit. And they just
calling them broke and like that. Yeah.
Don't let your mouth write check your ass can't cash. I despise that Logan Paul like calls everybody buddy now. Like when he gets a little flustered, he ends up calling him little buddy or some shit, and it's just like it makes him sound bad on the mic when I know he's better than what that he's showing. He says set your sights a little higher than what you're doing right now, and he points up at the Mania sign. We got to confirm that they're gonna have their Mania match. This segment was fucking dog shit, but the pulverizer looked really cool when he hit that at the end. So
the match is gonna be fucking insane. It's gonna be great, but I just don't understand what this feud is over. What's it about? Yeah, it's literally just to put on a good match. Like, I don't know what this was for, but it'll be a good match.
Kathy and Lyra Valkyria said had an interview, and she said she's giving Bayley another match for the Intercontinental Championship. So shouts out to her. We get the Judgment Day backstage again, second week in a row that Finn got the better of Braun. Momentum in WrestleMania season. He wants a title match, and this is when Liv was upset that Finn was saying that he won and not that we won.
Not we, yeah.
And then we get the women. Bianca's fine ass comes out in her little WrestleMania her referee gear.
Against the wall. The pressure's building, I will never fall. They see me ride, they hear me And see, I went better than before. I never needed you. I'ma let you fall down and let you nah, and then nah.
And I think Michael Cole's saying how she made her gear the night before, and Wade Barrett's like, well, she should have been focusing on the rule
Yeah,
book.
learning how to be a rep. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Wade Barrett's so good.
Bianca was calling it pretty fair, back and forth throughout the beginning of the match. They were both going back and forth, attempting their little pins against each other. And Rhea kept thinking that it was rigged against her. She was getting pissed every time Bianca would do a count. And I'm not a big fan of Io. I've said that before, but she's so damn good, so I gotta respect it. And Rhea hit the Razor's Edge on Io. That shit was cool. Io
crowd was great during this segment, by the way.
The crowd was great all weekend.
For sure.
For Friday and Monday, just in general. Io ducks and Rhea ends up kicking Bianca out of the match. Rhea hits a riptide and Bianca is not there.
And I was talking to my coworker during this because he had already watched and I was just watching. I was catching up. And it's like we talked about it afterwards after I finished watching. And it's like, dog, they're going to do this. Like, Bianca, you're a wrestler. You're not a regular ref. A drop kick not having you out the ring for fucking 30 seconds. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here? They just nerfed her because she was in a fucking ref's attire. I hate that shit. A little fucking kick and now you out the ring for forever. But continue.
But she was out the ring forever. And then she comes back in. And Io kicks out because she had so much time. And Rhea's pissed, rightfully so. Bianca pulls Rhea off of Io at one point, and Rhea gets pissed and slaps the shit out of her. Io dives off the corner and misses Rhea and kicks Bianca out of the ring again. And Bianca's out there standing, just pissed as hell. She says,
"I'm done.
I'm done. It's done." And it's a double disqualification. Absolutely horrific end of this match. I was very upset.
Yeah, they could have found a better way to do this than a double count out or some shit. They I don't know. They could have done something better, but I wasn't a fan. Or not the double count out, sorry, a double DQ. Not a fan of that.
Rhea
and I would have preferred if
Bianca.
I would have preferred if fucking Adam Pearce came out and I wish they would have made it official like today.
Triple threat.
Triple threat, yeah.
Rhea goes out and attacks Bianca. She hits the riptide from the second rope while holding Bianca. That shit was kind of cool. And then Bianca does the splits upside down to sell the move, and she's just so good. I love Bianca so much. But that's what we got.
Her fine ass.
Her fine ass for sure.
Yeah, and Rhea's doing all the heel things, but the crowd just fucking loves her way too much, bro. They pop every time she does something. Her music hit, and they fucking lost it. But she does all the heel things, and the crowd don't fucking care.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good episode of Monday Night Raw, and I think SmackDown has been better than Monday Night Raw these past couple of weeks. But yeah, I think we got two. Yeah, I think we got two segment of the years in this episode of Raw with Gunther whooping Jimmy Uso's ass, and then obviously Cody and Cena. I thought this was a pretty damn good episode of Raw.
It was a very, very good episode of Raw.
But yeah, I think that is all we got for you guys this week. So as we said, for the time being, we will be one a week. But come to the draft, we might sprinkle in a couple of weeks where we're back to 2 a week. But don't expect 2 from us anymore. I don't want you guys waiting at noon on Fridays and waiting for the episode to drop and it just never comes. So for now we're 1 a week, and if we ever decide to go back to 2, when we go back to 2, we'll let you guys know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't already, leave a like, comment, and sub. If you're new, I saw we're down to 71. We lost another.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, I swear we're at 71. Hey man, when the season's back, I hopefully we can hit a 100. I'm definitely gonna push us out. You saw it. Yeah, I'm definitely once the season comes back around, I'm gonna post to my socials and IRL people, and I'm gonna let people know that what we do. But yeah, it's the off season. It is what it is. But yeah, we appreciate you guys' support nonetheless. Head over to the TikTok and show some love over there. Twitter's up and running. Show some love on the YouTube shorts. And yeah, we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next week, I guess. Next week, Tuesday. Happy April Fools. Stay safe. Go Marlins, baby.
Love y'all.